I didn't know you were talking about the dark side.
Go ahead, Ed.
Yo, what's up, everyone? This is episode 93 of the Blurred Podcast.
Dude, it's not broadcasting.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's not broadcasting, dude.
Oh, what the fuck? I'm over here watching this person on Twitch. Hold on.
Darkseid literally said he was watching our intro screen.
Yeah,
and you fell for that.
There's a delay.
But why would we? Why would I stop broadcasting?
I'm not watching the screen. I'm watching someone else.
Ed, why would we stop? Why would I stop broadcasting after the intro has already started?
Wait, so we're live right now?
Are we?
Are
I
we?
don't know. I'm not. I'm watching someone else on Twitch.
Hold on. Did I update it to say episode?
I'm watching us on Twitch right now.
Live.
Yeah, are
We're
we not
live?
live?
We're live as can be.
Okay, I see
What
it
is
now.
being? Are we even
I'm watching
live?
someone else on Twitch.
What are you?
Who's
Why are you watching someone else when you should be focusing on the stream?
So
That's my
when I
question.
go on the app on my TV,
Mhm.
it gives me recommendations.
Yeah.
And I saw someone being a DJ. Clicked on, I'm like, oh, he's pretty cute.
Did
He's
you?
He's pretty good.
I said
He's.
he.
He's
No,
pretty cute.
you say he's.
He.
You
I have
say
a-
he's-
I have a
he's-
lisp.
Three
I have
people
a
here.
lisp.
Yeah.
To
Three
you.
people here said he's pretty cute, and we're recording on
He.
Twitch.
I
Yes.
have a lisp.
Hey,
She.
Sure.
Sure.
At
Hey,
least-
sure. Hey, hey,
Look.
sure.
In Ed's defense, at least he didn't have to fuck the DJs and eat their cereal.
Yep.
What?
Inside joke. We're not gonna repeat
Yep.
that.
Yep.
I'm going to take
yeah.
a seat for that one.
Yeah, I definitely got tongue tied there, so that wasn't a great example.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Let's move on from that one.
Let's move on
And
for that one.
let's focus on Ed's Freudian slip here.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
Ed,
Actually,
My-
Ed,
my
you haven't
list.
even introduced the show.
My
Yeah.
lisp.
Ed, can you actually introduce
Can
your
you
show, please?
Can you
Yes,
do your damn
I
job
can,
and introduce
again.
the show?
Yes.
I can't again because I have perfected it to its perfection that no one else can do.
Perfected it to
This is perfection.
Yes.
Nice. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is episode 93.
I ran to the running. Just
Don't do
It was
that.
a super duper. Ladies and gentlemen,
Okay, I'm
boys
sorry,
and
go
girls, this is episode 93 of the Blurred Podcast. As always, we have Green Tuner,
hello.
Creamcast,
Hey, what's going on, guys?
the returning and somewhat forgotten Dark Side,
What's up, baby?
and myself, the Ed Underground, Bay.
Baby.
How you doing?
Baby.
EDU.
Not too
Mhm.
bad, man. Not too bad. Yeah. Now there's 4 of us on this panel, which is crazy because I felt like we were short a member last week. It didn't. I don't know. For some reason, it just flowed so much better last week. I mean, we got done
Are you
in
trying to
record
say
time.
that someone is a big mouth or else?
Somebody might be a big mouth. I mean, somehow we wrapped up the episode in 2 hours. That's what shooting and shit and talking about the actual topic at hand. But somehow, we just got through all that material. But lo and behold, somebody was missing that week. I wonder what it was that made it so seamless, smooth, and it just a great show overall. Darkseid, you have anything you want to say about that?
Well, I just I turned on the podcast and I wanted to listen to it, but the first 8 minutes were unlistenable.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
I threw my phone out of anger, and when I went to find it, I had no interest to keep listening. So I'm sure the show went well. I saw that it was a tight 2 hours. That's great. But I guess I'm a big mouth, so I won't be talking that much. So fuck that shit.
It's almost like production issues might have caused the podcast to be shorter than what it actually was. So that's fine. Last week it was my
I let me apologize to the listeners because that was a rough ride, and I'm sorry. For those of you who stayed conscious during the last episode, I'm gonna have to apologize. Those of you who stayed past the first few minutes of technical issues and then actually managed to get through it.
Where it sounds like
Guys,
we're like Ed and I are
worse or
basically insane because we're talking to nothing.
Yeah, you guys are literally.
I mean, it was weird. It was real weird.
Yeah. it was kind of an out of body experience when you listen back to it. Yeah, because it does seem like you guys are just there's a little bit of silence, and then all of a
Now
sudden
that's
Green
on
Tuner just starts talking.
that's on the YouTube. Yeah, it's weird. That's on the
Yeah.
YouTube. Now, on the Spotify version, will we have all the audio?
No,
Oh, wonderful.
yeah,
Okay, cool. That's
all
real cool.
audio because when it's
I love.
recorded, I'm recording my mic
Mhm.
through when I'm going through OBS, I'm recording my mic, and then for you guys, I'm recording through Zoom. So whatever I pick up on my headphones is
Mm.
gets recorded. So unfortunately, because of how the audio setup is set up as
Mhm.
the person who is streaming, yeah, you guys will not be able to hear me, which is quite unfortunate. But
Can they
you know,
hear you
not
now?
yeah, they can hear me now. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I was dropping nuggets of wisdom and truth.
Mhm.
I
You
will.
know, I was watching the video and it sounded like, man, I wish I could hear what he's saying because he was like, you were like
Mhm.
expressive and you were
Yeah,
like, I mean,
Mhm.
this was like the moment for Creamcast. He was like, I was like,
Mhm.
man, in
A
his
new
mind,
shoe dropped.
there's like music
Mhm.
playing behind him right now. He's like
yeah,
laying
Mhm.
down a manifesto. That
yeah.
was unfortunate.
It's
That was
really
unfortunate.
unfortunate. Really, I
The what's called the theme of Last of the Mohicans was playing in the background as he was giving
Mm-hmm.
like a
yeah,
fiery
Mm-hmm.
speech.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Last
Mm.
of Mohicans,
Mhm.
Dances with Wolves. I mean,
All of
Mhm.
it.
it was Grammy and Emmy award winning. I mean, all around. And like all you need to do now is just put some music behind what I was saying, put a little short clip, put Jordan Peterson in the background with a little Andrew
Mm-hmm.
Tate
Motivational.
and
Yeah.
motivational. And I would
Mm.
literally change your life. So, but unfortunately that was lost to bad audio. Now it's lost in time. You can't
No, it's
get that
not.
time.
Yeah, it's lost in time, but we'll still put it out because that's how we do,
That's
baby.
how we do. Yeah,
That's how we
Yeah,
do.
that's how
we
we
don't
do.
make we don't make
Yeah,
mistakes. You know what I'm
you
saying?
don't.
That's
When you come to this restaurant, you don't send it back to the kitchen. You eat it.
you
Am I right?
yeah, you're
You
gonna
Yeah.
eat
eat
it.
that
And
shit.
you
You
tip
ate it
them.
and
You
you
tip
like
Yeah,
it.
you're gonna
Yeah.
tip us.
the
Yes,
cook.
you're gonna
Mhm.
kiss. You're gonna kiss the chef afterwards.
And true to tradition, I'm presently, having technical issues that will impact the quality of the show. Got to keep it consistent. I saw
Wow.
how you guys laid it down last week, and I was like, man, I got to keep it consistent.
We
We
So
live, baby. We
I may
live.
pop in and out, so just to keep it fresh,
Well, you know, the
Live,
funny
baby.
thing, the funny thing is like I remember during last week's episode, I was like, "Hey guys, should we just redo that little segment we did? It was only like 8 minutes," and
Yeah.
I was promptly vetoed by Green Tuner and Underground. They're
Oh,
like,
of
I saw,
"No,
course.
I heard,
yeah," they were just like,
yeah.
"No, like fuck, we just do it live. We just do it live."
Well,
And then
Live,
I couldn't
baby.
believe, like in my mind, I was listening to it and going like, okay, they fixed it, they fixed it. I was like, why am I listening to all this? Why is this in here?
it's
And
amazing.
of course, yes,
It's a
of course.
surreal experience. Like we actually, guys, wow, surprise, it was actually all planned. We actually wanted to have like kind of an ASMR type of thing going on where we
Mm.
talk, have a little bit of silence and so forth. Like it was all planned. So hey,
Yes,
what can we do?
ASMR for dogs.
Yeah, ASMR for dog. Exactly. You know, I don't know what the fuck that means, Ed, but sure.
Because humans couldn't hear you, but I'm sure dogs could.
Oh, God, Ed, mind blown. You are getting smarter by the day. I mean, damn, that was actually really good. I was surprised.
You guys got to catch up. That's all. Oh, too much info.
Okay.
And he just went back down. Okay, so yeah, no, it's been a pretty chill week, guys. Hot as shit. Like I don't know how hot it is out there for y'all, but man, we're starting to hit like 100
Outside.
degrees plus out here, and man, I do not take my black ass outside. I just
Wait, did you see about Arizona? How
no,
hot it's getting up there?
wasn't world like
Or down
record
there, I'm sorry?
temperatures. It wasn't record
Yes.
temperatures.
Shit was melting outside.
Yeah, I heard
People were getting heat strokes and shit. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, I heard about there was a guy that died. He old guy, he went out to Death Valley and he was taking
Appropriately named for the situation.
Yeah,
that
I
was
mean,
about to happen.
that's the last place I want to go to in the middle of the summer.
Let me go to getting stabbed in the stomach mountain.
Mountain, yeah. Well, you know, there's actually a place, and it's funny. Quick fact for you: I think it's within the Grand Canyon. There is like a small section in the Grand Canyon, a very small area that it is legal to kill somebody in that area. So if you kill somebody, like straight up murder somebody, you technically cannot get prosecuted because in that patch of land, it is still legal to murder somebody. Now, granted,
I remember something about this too, but I didn't know it was in the Grand Canyon.
I believe it's in the Grand Canyon.
I remember this being out somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere in the United States. I know it's in
It's
the
somewhere in the
United
United States. I
Yeah.
How
remember
do you
this.
two know about this?
Documentaries.
Yellowstone.
Documentaries.
The
Yeah.
dark
Has
road
a
of YouTube.
Oh, maybe
You haven't
Yellowstone.
walked it, my
Yellowstone.
friend.
Zone of death.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's in Yellowstone.
Ed,
Yeah.
You want to
Zone
go
of
to
Death.
Yellowstone for a little bit?
I'm good. I'm good.
Like, yeah,
I'm not a hiker.
Want to go on a picnic, Ed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm good.
We're about to board the plane. I'm, giving them my round way ticket. It only has a one-way ticket.
Like, we're just trying to save money.
good.
We're just trying to save money, Ed. It's a boys' trip, Ed. Just don't worry about it. We pay for
I
everything.
prefer to go with the girls.
Okay. Well, I'll be a girl for that moment.
Whoa, I'm good.
Hey, man, you just said you liked. You said a male DJ looked cute. So I mean, I
Yeah.
can still
I
say
said she because I have a lisp.
lisp.
No, Ed.
No,
It's
there's
okay.
a lisp.
No,
lisp
no,
doesn't
no.
have. That's not how
If,
lisp
he has
works.
if you have a lisp, the S is more noticeable.
Yeah, you accentuate the S. You wouldn't be like he. Like that's not.
Yeah.
No one says a lisp.
Ha, she, sha, sho, ha, sha,
Yeah.
she.
She.
Yeah.
You be,
Oh,
yeah.
That's cancelable,
Asian
Ed. That-
people are
that
not
is
gonna
cancelable.
No, I
be
was saying
happy
different
about
words.
touching
I
them.
urge
Different
you.
words,
I urge you to stop. I urge you to stop.
Yeah.
I urge you to stop your defense and accept what you said, please.
Yeah.
You're
When
dragging
I
us
say
down.
the S word.
Our
And-
listeners in China are not gonna be.
Yeah,
happy.
that's not good. That was not good. And
Yeah, and
I have a list of sometimes when I see S words, it doesn't come out as an S. It comes out as a different letter.
I feel like you should.
sure.
I feel like you should do the John Cena thing and start forming an apology right now. There might
I
be
am good. I'm not John Cena.
there might be certain people in different
That made it
different
worse
republic.
actually when he did that. I think.
Yeah, well,
He's
he's not canceled. He's not canceled.
No, he's
so
not canceled. But
he
it
did something
didn't-
right.
It didn't go well.
Oh, and I can't believe
Yeah.
you did that
I know.
unknowingly.
And
Yeah,
I can't believe I
As soon as
clipped
I
it.
heard
I
I'm like,
was
what?
demonstrating that when I see the S word, it doesn't come out as an
good thing
S
this
word.
is not being recorded. I mean,
Yeah.
because that would be awkward. Anywho, let's move on to this topic so we can save Ed, so he doesn't get canceled from everything.
Everything Ed has said has been recorded from the beginning. So
From the yeah.
from the disaster to the correction of the disaster to the further disaster.
You
This is
hear-
going to be a good episode, folks.
You hear
much worse
what you
flop
want
than
to hear.
just saying he.
Woo.
E.
Yeah, you should have just accepted
You
that.
should
You
have
hear what you want to hear. It's like Gundam Wing. Gundam Wing has a specific story, but
Mhm.
some particular people who may be on this podcast
Mm.
with their own thoughts and theories take it to a whole
Mm.
different level.
which is what I feel like we're staying true to the story. I feel like you're referring to us.
False.
I feel like we're just staying true to the story. How
Well, I
You tell
did
me
say-
everyone in that.
And this is the
Gundam
93rd
ship
episode, and
is
you've never
hetero.
had that lisp before.
I've
So
definitely had it many times.
No.
we've never talked
Yes.
about this lisp before.
I've had it.
We've all had a funny
I've
laugh
had it
with your
for years.
pronunciation of Armageddon and whatnot, but this is
library.
Yeah, library. Yeah, Ed, it's called a Freudian slip. Don't worry about it. It happens to the best of us.
Bethesda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am the best of the best.
You are the
Yeah.
best of the best.
All right, take to your
Um,
therapist.
Yeah, so what other entertainment news came out recently? Oh, this is good news for the Underground. Gal Gadot has pretty much came out and said that she will be working with not Kevin Feige, James Gunn, and I forgot who the other guy is. No one cares.
Yep.
But pretty much working with the new heads of the DCU storyline universe to make Wonder Woman 3. Now, we all know how well received Wonder Woman 1984 was. That was a
Well
very
received?
it was
It-
received. It was definitely
It was
received.
definitely received.
Not well though. That was probably I think for most people that was one of the worst showings of the DCEU. So the fact that was a movie that was, I think, primarily and exclusively written and directed by Patty Jenkins. Nobody was really happy with that movie. Some people loved it, but I think for anybody who came away from that movie with disgust. Was pleasantly surprised by the Snyderverse version of Wonder Woman that we got back. That we got the tribal, the warrior, actual slayer of gods and men,
The
Wonder
tribal
Woman.
queen.
Everybody was
Did
happy
we
about
get
it.
that? Did we get that?
I feel like we got that in the Snyder cut, a little bit
Oh,
more.
okay. But the
Um,
Snyder
Okay.
cut came out before Wonder Woman 84.
it came after.
Yes, I can't
Snyder
remember.
cut came after?
No, it
I
came
think.
before.
Are
No,
you,
it
are
came
you sure?
before.
No,
I
it
feel
came
like
out
it came
after.
before.
It came before.
Let's
All right, a little quick
we're just
googling. Well,
yeah.
all right. Well, while you Google that, I will say, the Snyder cut. I mean, or not the Snyder cut, the Wonder Woman 84. I haven't rewatched it.
That's good.
And yeah, and I don't plan on rewatching because the things that I disliked keep me away. But I will say, in defense of that film, it is a very nicely shot, great action sequences. I thought it was beautiful in many places. It's just a bad structural film. It
It
just leaves
is.
a bad taste in your mouth. But it's
Wonder
confidently
Woman.
made.
Wonder Woman 1984 came out
Mhm.
December 25th, 2020.
25th.
Remember, it was a
COVID.
hodgepodge,
Yep.
a hodgepodge of circumstances that caused it to come out during the COVID period. It was supposed to be
Right.
a theatrical release, but Snyder's Cut was released on March 18th, 2021. So Snyder Cut was
So it
after.
did come out after?
Yes.
Okay.
So that still, even with Shazam, we saw a cameo of Wonder Woman in there. With the recent Flash movie, we saw Wonder Woman in there. So it's kind of surprising that they're still keeping up with Wonder Woman. And we don't get any Batfleck. I feel like fans will probably be a lot happier with a Batfleck movie as opposed to a Wonder Woman movie. But we kind of have to get what we get. Will James Gunn do something good with it? I don't know. Seeing how it went from Patty Jenkins to Snyder Cut, I had hope, but then seeing with Shazam, I'm kind of.
I
don't know.
really want them to like. I mean, I like Gal Gadot. She's fine. I think they just need to just sever all connection. If they want to start fresh, they should start fresh.
I agree.
Just leaving Gal Gadot there is not going to be because she's going to come with all this baggage and you have to explain it and it doesn't make any sense. So,
Baggage. I kind of see it as
baggage of the previous universe.
The old regime.
Whatever you want to call it.
So are they
DCU.
rebooting this, or they're just going to have her as?
No, it's Wonder Woman 3, so this is a
So
continuation.
it's 3. Okay, so it's fine.
So it might be a reboot. Like they might try to pull something where they say, okay, her past history, like the starting movies make sense for her, but ultimately she's getting shoehorned into this new DC universe. I think that's still very messy, and I agree with Darkseid. That is something that why take the time to go and try to retcon her in to this universe? You could just cut ties at this point. Recast.
Well,
I mean, she did her part to establish Wonder Woman again, and if you're looking at James Gunn's selections of the properties he's adapting for the new DC universe, he's not going Silver Age or Golden or anything like that. He's picking relatively new stuff to adapt into his modern universe. Wonder Woman's New 52 reboot was awesome. Like it was all the things that we liked. It was old school. It was like it was heavily based in the gods of Olympus and her dark history, um, her origins are a lie to her, and like all that. Like she's going deeper into the lies that created her, and it led to some like. There's a great story arc where you find out where all the men of the Amazons, like the boys, where they are, and it's a very twisted, messed up story of what the Amazons do to males. So, but I like that darkness. So, like, I mean, I hope if they go down that route, we can explore some of those stories.
Yes,
with a new actor.
And you thought the darkness was your ally. Yes, come to the dark side. I appreciate that. I agree. Like tell the dark grittiness of Wonder Woman. Like Wonder Woman, she is kind of the opposite of like Superman. I know we've had that conversation before about Superman being dark and how you guys agree that he needs to be light. Wonder Woman is not that. She's not the. She's especially in the newer tellings of Wonder Woman.
She's
She's
not the
not the.
84.
Yeah, she's not the love harmony Wonder Woman. She's pretty much getting checked by the goodness of Superman. And I like that kind of dynamic of, she could go balls to the wall and go on killing sprees if Superman pretty much deems it so, or she can be on the side of justice. No, I would appreciate that from James Gunn. I think that would be a different telling for sure. And I think I would appreciate that a lot more of her actually having a story. I feel like even in Snyder's verse, it was kind of like she was like this naive child almost coming out from Themyscira to the modern world, and it's just like, oh wow,
That makes sense though.
people is love and this and the other. And it does, but it would make a little bit more sense, I think, if she would have came out like Darkseid said, a little bit more darker, and maybe she's being brought to the light by someone like Superman, someone who actually can go like toe to toe with her to an extent. That'd be kind of cool. Like he kind of level sets her.
I think in the beginning of the first one, the whole naive part that was good, but then I think she went through the hardships of throughout the movie of what is it called, love of loss, or loss of love. She lost that guy.
Yeah,
man.
Trevor.
She saw the hardships of war. She went through some messed up stuff. So I think that kind of made that naiveness go away. So I think it was
you're talking about a character arc, and I agree with Creamcast. I think and I agree with you partially that there's a start of a good character arc for her, but I don't think it gets executed very well. Like you're right. You're both right. She does have that naivete, and she sees the World War I, and that kind of opens her eyes to like the cruelty of what her purpose is and what she can offer the world of man. But I don't like Wonder Woman 1984 like kind of undoes all that.
it does.
Yes, it does. It does.
So there's an arc. That's why I'm saying like it's better to start with someone else and just start fresh. She brings too much baggage to the table. It's just I don't know where. She's a good actor. She's great in the role, but it's not so much her. It's everything about her performance that would be translated to whatever the hell you make now would not allow for a fresh start. It would be like, okay, so is this the same one? Is this not the same one? Did she go through all that bullshit we saw her go through? I mean, technically, if you looked at Wonder Woman 1 and 2, it could fit into any new universe because it's not connected to the DCU. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah,
Superman doesn't pop up in any of those. Ben Affleck doesn't
No.
pop up in any of those.
But I mean, I think
Oh, he does. Oh, he
In
does.
2?
In 1, he shows up.
So right in the end,
they show up the
Yeah.
metahumans.
Oh
yeah, right.
So
I
they
forgot then.
so Batman did show up in the end of Wonder Woman 1. And
where he's searching.
he's doing the Robert Downey Jr. of I'm trying to build a
assembling
team. Yeah, so it's kind of the same thing. But I mean, just like how we forgot, you can kind of retcon that away.
Well, if you want to use the Flash, you can do that. They could.
I feel like Flash didn't do a really great job.
No, it didn't, but you can like use it.
Yeah, like
It's too messy.
It's way too messy.
It's now Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. You've already messed it up. You lost Batfleck, you've lost Wonder Woman, you've lost all these people that before were present in the universe. Now they're gone. So it's just kind of like, how do they really come back from that without making it convoluted and having people sitting there and be like, because you want to get rid of the whole association of the DCEU from the DCU. So you want to lose that association. And yeah, bringing back Gal Gadot for that is just going to be a terrible mess. I mean, new things have came out even about Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. New test screenings apparently have said that movie is now watchable. Before, when they were doing test screenings, they said it was one of the worst movies they've ever seen in their entire life.
I wonder, now I kind of want to see that cut.
The
I just
original
want to see
cut.
what's so bad about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to as well.
I
mean,
too.
they've done a ton of reshoots on this movie. They practically, from what I've understood, they've reshot this movie.
That's never a good sign.
Yeah, it's never a good sign. So they're saying that this movie is now watchable, and some people are saying it's an enjoyable experience. So we'll see what happens. Right now, DC, the DC universe is still in shambles because we haven't seen anything from James Gunn viewpoint what that hasn't been touched by the DCEU. Even with the Flash, been reading a lot of reviews about that, and like kind of like people going back and doing a retrospective on it. And even though I think for the most part we all enjoyed that movie, I think we rated it pretty high.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
As
It
hell.
was a fun
Yeah,
movie,
yeah, we liked
but
it.
when you take the actual storyline and the plot and everything else, and you start to really like, break it down, there's a lot of issues with that movie, especially within the DCEU.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like we enjoyed the movie because we enjoyed it. Like the whole scene of like seeing Nicolas Cage, like that gave us
Yes.
raging boners that
Mhm.
an average moviegoer wouldn't understand. But as far as what makes sense for the greater audience, and I think we have all even agreed on this, like this movie wasn't a good movie for the greater audience, and probably
No.
for the greater storyline as well. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We got Blue Beetle coming out too.
hmm
Green
Why
Tuner.
not?
Green Tuner. I mean, how do you feel about that?
Yeah.
Wait, why do you ask him?
Hooray.
Well,
Hooray.
I would ask a quarter of you, Ed, but
Wow.
how do you feel? Okay, that's all the time we have. So yeah,
Mhm.
Wait,
Wow,
who are you
it
asking?
didn't even answer because it's not there.
yeah,
Oh, I thought you were asking
Yeah.
Green Tuner.
yeah,
I'll give
what,
it a shot.
yeah. What do you guys think of
What?
like? Could we still have Blue Beetle coming out, right?
Yeah.
Which is still I think they said James Gunn
Blue
has put
Beetle takes place in their new universe.
in the new universe,
Yes.
right? So
In the new
initially,
universe?
yes, initially it was
But it
supposed
was
to be
retrofitted, right? To
retrofitted.
Yeah,
Yes,
because I think it had no connection to the DCU. Like whatever connection they put in could probably be swappable.
Well, I think they said that there
Okay.
was connection at one point, but
Yeah,
they took
I'm sure
out
there was.
I think they said that there was a connection to like Batman, like and all this other stuff.
No, I think it was to the Justice Society that the team they're putting together with Shazam.
Oh yeah, Justice Society.
You
You're
remember
right.
all that stuff?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
Oh
all this
my
stuff was
God,
written
yeah.
years back. So he was on that team, and so
Yeah.
it's all swappable. We'll see
Yeah.
what happens.
So I mean, with other movies like Blue, I mean, I kind of want to hear what Green Turner thinks about this. Like with other movies like Blue Beetle, Shazam, not Shazam, Aquaman. Like, how do you feel about this new universe and how they're still trying to salvage old movie titles?
I think it's forced. I think it's probably coming down from the head guys at Warner Brothers. They don't want to throw away something they've been spent so much money on, and they have to find a way to link it to the new universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the more I see trailers for Blue Beetle, the less I'm hopeful for it.
Damn.
It just seems extremely generic.
It does seem kinda
Ridiculously
Remember
generic.
that was my first impression. You guys know what
Yeah.
I thought of it when it first came out the gate.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It was-
did. I
Yeah,
thought
you
it
didn't
looked.
like it,
I thought
yeah.
it looked like a 2000s first superhero
super movie. Yeah.
Like it
Yeah.
looked very, very like first time we haven't learned anything from the MCU or the DCU, and we're back.
Nothing
Yeah,
at all.
We're back to square
yeah,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, we're back to square
Yeah.
one again. Like we're
It's nice to see George Lopez though on the screen. So I mean, just
no,
for the trailer.
that's the worst part. I think.
Yay!
Boo,
Yeah, it
George
wasn't.
Lopez, boo.
Yeah.
Like because it seems like I always have a problem when they put comedians in movies to make it to purposely try to be funny, and it's just like I'd rather see like John Leguizamo, right? Well, like when he was in John Wick, John Leguizamo, we know he was a comedian, but in John Wick, his parts were just funny, just from him acting and having good lines. I don't want to have a comedian in there who is just shit. Like that's why all these Amy Schumer movies are complete shit.
Oh
That's,
my God, yeah.
Dane Cook. Like Dane Cook had like one or two, like I think like maybe one good movie where he played in, but other than that, he couldn't make it work.
I don't think that's accurate, but
I think it was decent. It was not horrible. The movie overall was bad, but Dane Cook,
Amy
like,
Schumer, I could defend a little because she's been funny, but Dane Cook has never.
I would
funny.
disagree. I would say Amy Schumer. Amy Schumer has points where she shines.
In the beginning,
Okay,
she
I'll
has
show
been funny.
Yeah,
She
in
has been funny.
the beginning of her career, she was absolutely funny.
Yeah,
I feel
yeah,
like now, she's.
Dane Cook was good in his early stand-up, but he's never made a good movie that I've ever seen. His early stand-up is funny. I will grant that.
Yeah,
And then
stand-up
he
is
just, like,
funny.
shut the fuck up.
I'm gonna say,
What about Waiting?
Who?
who?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, Wayne
so-
Brady.
The movie about like
Waiting.
it was
Oh yeah.
with
What?
Ryan Reynolds.
He's
and-
funny in it, but he's not the funniest guy in it.
I
I'm
have
about to
no
say,
idea what
I
you're
have no
All
talking
right,
idea
about.
what
fine. I'll give you Waiting. That is a good
Bam.
movie. That is a good
It
movie.
was
No,
like
there was-
a very forgettable comedy
But
movie about
he
like
barely does
restaurant
anything in
staff.
that movie. He like pulls his
Yeah.
pubes out. I remember that.
Oh, okay. Wait. Okay, yeah.
He's the
I'm-
cook. He's the disgusting
Yeah,
sous
yeah.
chef.
I'm Tom. I think Good Luck Chuck wasn't horrible. It wasn't great, but it
Oh
wasn't.
no.
It was. It had
There's
some.
only one reason to see that movie, and it ain't him.
What
You know
is
what I'm
it?
saying?
I don't
I
know.
didn't
Ed,
know.
There was,
Ed knows what I'm. Ed
I
knows
don't know
what I'm
this
saying.
movie.
Jessica
You don't
What
Alba.
know
movie
Good
is
Luck Chuck?
this?
I haven't seen this movie.
It's Jessica Alba.
Yeah, Jessica Alba.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Okay, well,
Fake fan,
homework?
ladies and gentlemen. Fake creepy fan.
Very creepy.
Homework.
Extremely creepy.
Yeah, I thought. Wait,
I love
yeah.
you.
Now I'm looking at Good Luck Chuck. Maybe I just thought I had different humor at the time. Yeah, that movie got a 5% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, he's not
Wow.
been associated with good stuff. I have
Okay.
not, or I have not.
Maybe
seen
maybe
it.
there was like one or two scenes I thought was funny. Okay, okay. Well that just furthers my point that comedians usually don't do well in movies, especially when they're forced to be funny.
It
Well, I'll say,
depends on
like-
the comedian. That's
Well-
not a good statement to make.
Well, I'm saying like John Leguizamo, like I said, with
Yeah,
like think of him
But
like in
there's a lot of
Spawn.
movies where
Like
John
in Spawn.
Leguizamo's good in the movie.
Yeah,
you know
I'm
what I
saying
mean?
he's a good actor. Like
Yeah.
John Leguizamo is a legitimately good actor.
Yeah,
Like but there's some movies where he's like forced to be funny is not always so good. Like a good example, Spawn. He was forced to be funny. Some
I
of
thought
it was
it
good.
hilarious.
I
Some
thought
of
it
it
was
was-
hilarious in
I
some of it was
loved
good.
them in Spawn.
Yeah.
That was
Some-
one
No,
of the
I
highlights
was
of
no, I
Spawn.
was like 14 or something. So
Yes, I'm saying
Yeah.
14.
Probably,
No.
yeah.
I've watched it recently. Still holds up.
Okay,
Okay.
well, you
As
do-
long as you keep in mind that it's a demonic
19
clown from a comic
Clown,
book.
yeah,
Don't,
yeah.
that's true.
I
don't
remember his
expect it
jokes
to
were real
be,
corny.
you know,
they're real corny. That's what I'm
it-
saying.
Yeah.
they're still corny. They're still lame, but it's still good.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool.
I mean, that could either mean two things.
But
Either
I
your
hear you.
your
Good
humor
guess.
has.
I hear what you're saying.
Oh, thank you. Like, either it means two things for Green Turner. Either his humor has not increased or it has not matured over time, or his humor has degraded over time, just due to the fact that he's become more grizzled in this world. So he finds.
Listen. A little from
the
column A,
grizzled part.
a little from column B.
Okay, sure. Okay, I think it's a lot more in column B. Just you've been a little grizzled by this world, so you are have some very dark humor, maybe. But
Don't we
no,
all?
yeah, we're kind of bad with our humor.
It depends.
Yeah, it all depends on what
who
it
you
is.
ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But okay, so like I was saying, yeah, we got Blue
What
Beetle
about
still
the
coming.
pest? Anybody like the pest?
The
With
pest?
John
No.
Leguizamo?
I don't know
No.
what that
John
is.
Leguizamo. Okay, so we're talking about. He has like a line where he crosses over and he can be super annoying, and I can't watch it anymore. So
That's the
he's got-
pest.
Yeah, he's got that. I think pest is the line. So he's walked on both sides of that. He's one of the few but he's a very good actor.
Yeah, very good actor.
That's what I'm saying. I think he's a great actor. So, very rare for the comedian space for sure.
But you're talking about the comic relief crammed into some of these comic book movies just to have them in there.
Yeah, like 'cause
Um,
like Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds is not a comedian, right? But like when he's forced to be humorous in past movies, it's been cringe. But new movies, he's done very well. He kind of found his pacing a little bit, especially with Deadpool. He's found his pacing that kind of works for him, and he's taken that Deadpool, that caricature of like Deadpool and has implemented in other spaces that has been very successful. Like his Jin, he has Aviation Jin. He's done some funny skits with that and so forth. With his announcement with Wolverine, with Hugh Jackman, that's been pretty fun, pretty funny, and
in
still
Ryan Reynolds' credit, that's all Ryan Reynolds. It's like it's just him. Like you're right, managing his persona well.
Yeah.
To the point where he's not overexposing himself. Because that was one of the things I was wondering, like, how long before we get tired of this Ryan Reynolds shtick? Because he's one of those actors that plays
he
the
does have a
same
shtick
guy in every movie. So like, and I don't know if it's conscious. He's conscious of it. I hope he is. But
Yeah, I
he's
think
not
he is.
like in every damn movie playing himself.
Well,
You know,
this
Well,
is
I
the
think
thing is-
also he is invested in a lot of things.
Yeah.
Sure.
So like he has the
Run that
cell phone
football
thing.
club.
He owns
Yeah.
a soccer team in England.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I think that also keeps him
Has a phone
occupied.
company.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well,
yeah, exactly. And
yeah.
then the side benefit to that is like Darkseid said, we're not overexposed, and he doesn't have to go through the phase that Will Ferrell went through. Because remember,
Yeah.
like Will Ferrell wasn't everything, and then there came a
Was.
point where people were just tired of him,
Yeah.
Yep.
and it was a couple of years right before people were willing to watch him again.
Well, it's funny you
I-
mentioned that. I haven't seen Barbie, but I heard he's like that version of Will Ferrell is back in Barbie, and it's refreshing again to have that
Because it's been so long.
outrageous version of him back.
Yeah, I heard that his appearance in Barbie was pretty funny. People
Yes, I
were
heard
because I don't think it was never alluded to in any of the trailers. So
No, I didn't even know until right now.
No, I saw him in
sons
the
of
trailers,
bitches.
but I was just like, I had the
So-
reaction that you all would have had, but like, I'm glad to hear.
So Darkseid, when you dress up in all pink and everything and to go see Barbie, how do you feel about that movie? Because there's been
I want to watch Barbie.
I am
yeah,
dying
want
to
to-
see
I actually
Barbie.
want I
It
want to see
is-
Barbie too.
I was
Yeah.
just listening to a podcast today. It is, I am really, really, really.
People
dying
are
to see
really
Barbie.
rating it highly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wanna see
especially
it.
in film circles. It's
Oh,
and you know what?
Oh, look at him.
Oh, look at
He's more
him.
to our side.
Wow.
Who?
Ed, if you
Wait.
choose to wear pink,
whoa,
that's your
whoa.
choice, and that's
mean,
fine.
I'll look great in pink. I know that
Okay,
for a fact.
So I
Okay.
know I look great in
So
pink
what's-
too.
so why
was that
did
a
you-
compliment?
Sure.
Yeah.
Well,
Why
I'm
did you bring
giving
that up?
Dark
As
Side a
a-
hard
Yeah,
time,
why?
Oh, because from what my understanding, you wanted to go there and dress up, cosplay.
Sure.
you know, one of the
Just
hardest
wanted to understand if it was good or not.
you know, one of the hardest rappers back in the day, Killer Cam, used to wear nothing but pink Tims with a pink fur coat, and he used to get all the women. You have Prince, you know, Purple Rain himself used to dress
like
up
Prince.
in purple
Yeah.
and with
Assless
tassels,
chaps.
chaps, and
Assless
so-
chaps, remember?
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
And so
I've
Ed,
worn pink too.
But-
And assless champs.
assless chaps, yeah.
One of my favorite,
Yeah,
not
all
the
right.
favorite, but one of my favorite
He
villains.
did deny it.
Yeah, he didn't
Right
deny
over
it.
his
So
head.
Deny what? No, one of my favorite villains of Dragon Ball Super is Goku Black,
cool.
and he has pink
Mhm.
hair.
There you go.
I like pink.
would you ever dye your hair pink, Ed?
Nah, I'm not about the pink life of my
Yeah,
hair.
but pink, you
I
are.
would do like a strand of
You're a
teal.
brown man, huh?
Yeah,
Huh? No, I wore pink before.
he's all brown. No,
Yeah, no pink for it.
no pink for Ed, all brown.
You know, like that.
I'm a pink person. I like pink.
You like pink? Okay.
Okay.
Well, at the end of the day, Ed, I mean, there's nothing wrong with the color pink is just a color. At the end of the day,
It's just a color.
It's
yeah.
just a color. So it has nothing wrong with if men want to dress in pink, that's fine. If you want to be any
Wasn't
part of
there
that
another
spectrum,
rapper in like the 2000s, early 2000s, that was really trying to make pink like a hot color again?
I
And
know
it just never worked
silver.
out.
I just know Cam.
No,
Cameron.
this was like was it, maybe it was Cameron, and I'm putting him in another timeline.
Yeah, well, I said Killer Cam. Yeah, that's his. He called himself Killer Cam, but yeah, Cameron.
Cameron,
yeah,
okay, yeah. Where he had like, yeah, you're right. Did he have like a pink vehicles and everything?
Pink
Yeah.
vehicles, pink fur, pink boots, everything was pink hats. Like, yeah, he was all about that pink. So,
Hell
and
yeah.
people try to question him, people try to clown him, but he had more money than them, more women than them at the time, more jewelry. He had everything. He was on top of the world. Yeah, the '90s rap, the rap scene, that was him. So, well, '90s, 2000s, like mid early 2000s. So yeah, no, I want to see Barbie too. It's got a lot of great reviews. Obviously some scathing reviews from certain individuals who lean certain
For
ways.
some groups.
Some groups, yeah, that lean certain
Well,
ways.
yeah.
But I mean, that comes with any movie that has anything that might break the norms of what's acceptable or whatever. But no, I've heard really great reviews. I really want to see it. Am I going to see it in theaters? Probably not. I'll wait till it comes out on stream and I can watch it probably on any of these streaming platforms. But yeah, I really am wanting to check it out. I mean, one thing we did, I think we all saw this, which was in theaters at the same time as Barbie, was Oppenheimer. Something that we won't review, this week possibly, but maybe in another episode. But Oppenheimer, we did watch that. Really great movie. I really did enjoy that. I was not expecting to like it as much as I did. So
You weren't expecting to like it?
not as much as I was. I was thinking it's more of a documentary I was gonna be like, oh, this was gonna be a
Mm.
boring documentary, but it was actually a really good movie. So
You know,
great
Christopher
weekend.
Nolan is you know, he never misses. That I can remember. You know, the man doesn't miss. So this was. I definitely did wonder if, because this is a biopic ish biopic movie.
Mhm.
I don't know if, like, I don't think he's ever done a biopic. This is like an R-rated movie. This is a biopic movie. So I didn't know if how this would translate to his
Style.
certain style, and especially his style of filmmaking. And man, I can he direct more biopics, because it was fast paced, kinetic. The visuals and music
Yeah.
blend so well. Like, I mean, and the way he structured the movie is really cool. So, I mean, I don't want to, you know, overhype it for Green Tuner here, because I know what's going to happen here. The mental games have
Uh,
begun.
I'll be honest. You can't overhype it for me.
Okay,
He's already
all right.
hyped. He's already
Yeah,
hyped.
Here's the
no,
thing. Here's the thing. I
I
want
have
to.
no interest in the movie, but my wife wants to watch it. You guys watched it, so
Mhm.
I'll
You have
watch
to
it. But
watch
I
it.
I would
honestly
say
have
check it
no.
out. I would say check it out. But if you're going in there
Yeah.
being like, is this gonna knock Inception or Interstellar off
No,
the? It's not.
No.
no.
But it is a
No,
very
I
like
had no hopes like that. Yeah. So
no, but it's a very beautiful, well-made film. I'm, you know,
Yes.
it's like
The psyche.
it's really cool.
It goes into the psyche. I think it does a really good job of going into the psyche of just that time, where the era that they were in, what the mindset of the individuals. It's kind of crazy when you think back like at our current time, right? Like think of 9/11, how we were so worried about the politics, people of that time, groups of that time, and every era has that when it comes to like wartime, especially for your country. You have that mindset. So going back into that time frame and seeing kind of the paranoia, the all the forces coming together to eventually come to a common goal was I thought it was an excellent movie. Like I said, it wasn't a typical Christopher Nolan movie, but it was very well done. And we can review it once our Green Tuner watches it. We can give it a full review of how we thought about the movie. But
This movie is not for everybody either.
oh, it's definitely not.
It's not.
This is. I feel like Inception and all those type of movies are movies that are more generally for the audience. This is.
Yeah.
I feel like this movie is for film goers. Like if you're a buff, or you are a person that can just watch a movie
Mm-hmm.
explaining something that's already happened that you already know the outcome, then this movie's for you. If you like documentaries, you like biopics and so forth, this movie's for you. Like if you
I
watch,
love, yeah.
go ahead.
Sorry, I was saying I love history. I love this period of history. So there was a lot of like they didn't. I was curious how much they would expand upon like explaining things to the audience. They don't really explain a lot. There's given you're supposed to have a given understanding and knowledge of what's happening in the world, and you have to have an understanding of what's happening post World War II,
Mm-hmm.
because they don't really stop to explain anything. You're just in it. You're in like the Cold War, and then you're not in the Cold War. You're pre World War II, and it's kind of jumping around. I really like the structure of the movie, but they don't hold your hand on anything, and they just kind of go for it. I was like the pace of the trailer of the movie. If you watch any of the trailers, how that pace is, that movie is pretty much paced like the trailer. It's very like swift. They don't linger a lot. It's a lot of like very fast establishing scenes, and then they're moving from thing to thing to thing, and sometimes they reference something back, like they'll reference a character and they'll show the face again, like,
Mm-hmm.
or you know what I mean, so they're
Or they
aware
go,
of how
or
much
like,
information they're throwing at you.
or they go in the past and they'll do it black and white to show
Yeah.
like other
Even
people's
though the whole thing's in the
perspectives.
past.
Yeah, like things in the
Well,
past,
the
or they show different perspective.
Oh,
This is
I'll
technical
speak
difficulties.
for I'll speak
there we
for
go.
Yeah,
I'll speak for Dark Side.
yeah. We
All
just
right,
But
go for it.
lost him.
yeah, there's parts that were in black and white that were focusing more on the well, the whole movie in color was the past, but the parts that are in black and white, that was technically the future tense, because everything that was in black and white that they were talking in black and white already happened.
Well,
Remember?
also, well, the thing is also things in color for the most part were all in. If you notice, all things in color were actually Oppenheimer's point of view, his
Yeah.
vantage point. while they were
Yeah.
black and white, there were other people's vantage point in various points in time. So
Specifically one person. What's his name in the movie? Robert
Robert
Downey. I
Jr.,
forgot his
yeah.
name in the movie though, but yeah,
I
it was
forgot,
Downey.
Yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson.
You got it.
Speaking
Nailed it.
about Samuel Jackson, well, that's another transition. But speaking about Samuel Jackson, there was not one black person in his
Jackson.
my list.
Jackson.
Whoa,
you definitely messed this up now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did.
Dark Side, back out, close out, and then
Yeah,
jump back
I'll be
in.
back. Yes.
Yeah. So the crazy thing about I mean, we're
Oppenheimer.
talking. We keep talking about Oppenheimer. I don't want to talk too much about it, but the one
I know.
thing
Yeah,
that
you can talk about him.
the one thing about Oppenheimer that I really enjoyed was that with Oppenheimer, it was a movie. I think Dark Side nailed it perfectly. The pacing was perfect. There are points in when you are watching like The Dark Knight, and when the music is kicking up. I think what did Hans Zimmer? He did all of the.
He did Dark Knight.
He did Dark Knight.
I don't know who did Oppenheimer.
Ludwig Göransson, I think, did the other ones. I'm not entirely sure though. But Hans Zimmer, like when certain like themes were kicking up, you could see like the pacing was going a little intense. Like the scene was a little bit more intense. Now that's one thing I noticed with Oppenheimer is like when certain themes were getting kicked off, it was just perfect pacing, perfect timing.
Intensity.
The intensity was kicked up another notch. All right, Dark Side, you in. So no, like the pacing was really perfect. I really enjoyed that about Oppenheimer because it made a movie that really could be very boring, right? It could be very boring, and it could be something that you just be sitting there and be like, fuck, like this is just a 3-hour history lesson. When in reality,
it's a Ken Burns documentary in movie form.
Yeah, like this is gonna be really bad, and this wasn't that, and I was really surprised. And you know, the reason why talking about like Oppenheimer and the transition I was going to do with Christopher Nolan, because we were just talking about superhero movies. Christopher Nolan is on record saying that he will not produce another superhero movie ever again. He has no interest in making superhero movies, and
if he's not interested, he shouldn't do it.
Yeah, I agree 100%. He should not do it.
Wait.
What?
Your audio went out.
Oh, there you go.
You're back.
I'm good on my end. Y'all just suck. But
all of us suck. Huh?
All of y'all, yeah. But yeah, going back to Christopher Nolan, ultimately, he shouldn't do anything that he doesn't want to do because we've seen the movies that he's obviously interested in. All of them he doesn't miss. Dark Knight, he came into that not even knowing really what it was, to being one of the greatest superhero movies, one of the top superhero movies of all time. Not even just in box office, but in the hearts of fans. So this man obviously knows what he's doing. Even the movies that are complicated to understand, like Tenet is a very complicated movie to get. Obviously, I loved it, and it was a passion project for him. Took a relatively unknown actor like David Washington and pretty much put him into stardom. And like someone said, like even with Matt Damon, I think I mentioned this before. When Christopher Nolan calls, you answer. You answer that damn
everything
call.
on the side. You tell the kids go to sleep. If you gotta throw them out, do that.
Yeah.
Listen to the phone call.
You gotta
play some soft music in the background. Just listen.
I lost count of the notable actors in this movie.
Most of them are from like previous movies he's done.
I mean,
I kept getting. I was probably an hour and a half in the movie, and I keep getting surprised by
more and more.
Oh, you're playing this guy. You're in here too. You're in here too.
Some of these people had low.
It's one of those things where Christopher Nolan calls, I guess, or you're knocking on the door for, can I be in the next one? I'll do anything.
Because once you, like they say, once you're part of the Nolan family, you're part of the Nolan family.
You're locked in.
You know who's singing here?
What's his name? Cillian
Murphy.
Yeah, he's been working with him for a while.
He's been working with him since Batman Begins.
He was he was played as he tried to play as Batman and didn't work out, so he played Scarecrow, that
would have been a creepy Batman.
Which is not a bad idea.
Now, did I miss Michael Caine? Was he in here?
No.
That's weird, right? Like,
but
okay.
One of the
Michael
Jokers,
Caine.
I don't know his name, but one
Michael
of the Jokers
is
radium,
like
the size of a
charm,
tangerine.
Right?
Yeah,
Like he considers Michael Caine his good luck charm or something.
Yeah, he was in the background somewhere. But one of the
Oh, God.
Joker's henchmen was in.
Yeah, I forgot the name of the
I forgot
actor,
his
but
name.
Yeah.
he's become a bigger actor since
Yeah.
that movie.
Which is
Oh,
I'm
but
happy for that because
yeah.
he's always played the bad guys. It's always like the
Yeah.
same people. What's his name?
Polka Dot Man.
No, not
I forgot the other ones.
Michelson. What's his name? Mickelson. Mads Mikkelsen.
Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah, Mads
Yeah.
Mikkelsen has always been
Yeah.
stereotyped as the bad guy. And then
Mhm.
when you see him in roles where he's not the bad guy, it's just like, yes, he's finally getting his
Yeah,
due
The man
penance.
was born with evil face.
He
What
was,
can I say?
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, you kind of figure it. Like,
the
what's
man
the,
was born
what-
to fight James Bond, is what he was.
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
much. What's the guy? The Full Metal Jacket. The drill sergeant. He was like, yeah, he's
Oh,
like
Arlie Emery.
Arlie Emery. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like, I just have that
He was
faith.
born to be a drill sergeant.
Yeah, he's like,
that's it. Yeah.
Because I think somebody went back in time and said, like, how many roles have you played that you've been a military guy? He's like, I just kind of lost count. Like, when there's a military guy, I'm it. He's like, I just have that face. So, anyhow, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The guy that was going to give away Batman's identity.
Yes.
Yeah, we know what you're
Yeah.
talking about.
I'm just saying, like a lot of people from Dark Knight or just Nolan movies, they're repeatedly in all his movies.
Yeah. That's
I
what I said.
love, I love the cast. The
Yeah.
cast was like phenomenal.
That's what I
But
said.
there's a
like,
lot
the
of
Nolan
people in
family.
this movie that are not from his previous movies that I was very happy to see.
Downey.
Yeah, Downey.
Downey
Downey's
said
in
he
there.
loved being part of
Of
the
course
movie.
he did. He wants to work with.
You know who
what's
I
his
loved?
name
What
again?
he wasn't in it a lot, but every scene and I love this actor, Casey Affleck. He was so good.
Casey, yeah.
He was
Oh,
in the
Casey
scene
was
a
his-
little bit, and he was very good. And I
But
love the
who
way they
was Casey?
introduce him.
Who was Casey?
I don't remember. Colonel Patch, I think is his name.
I thought that
yeah.
was-
Yeah, he's only in one scene, and he's very good in that one scene. Who else? Gary Oldman.
Gary
Was-
Oldman.
Without
Who's
spoiling
that
who Gary
guy,
Oldman
Drake?
is
You
very
guys
good.
know who Drake and Josh is from Nickelodeon?
Yes.
Yeah.
Was one of those guys the heavyset one?
No,
We said one.
I think that
forgot
guy
his
lost
name.
weight though.
Yeah, he lost weight, but I could have sworn that was him.
I don't know.
I think you're just racist.
talking
but
about Drake
that's
Bell?
fine.
Yes,
No,
that's
the
the
other
one that
one.
lost weight.
He's talking about
No, Drake Bell was the skinny one.
He's
So
talking
who
about
was
Josh
the-
Peck.
Yeah,
Josh Peck, there
one
we
of the
go.
two. So was that him in there?
I don't think so. Here, let's look up. Man, we're talking a lot about Oppenheimer when.
He might have been in it. Hold on.
Go for it.
I'm,
Again,
I'm looking at the cast.
Yeah, he's in it.
He is.
Ed- You're right.
Oh, so he wasn't okay.
Damn,
Yeah, I
look
was
at
surprised. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
surprised.
there's
he
a
made
lot
it.
of there's a lot of
Crushing an
people
instant.
like
Yeah.
Josh Hartnett is
Josh
in here.
Hartnett did such an amazing job. Like, damn, he was good.
Who was
Yeah.
Well, you said what?
What was his name in the movie?
Ernest Lawrence.
I'm trying to remember who was who.
He was the guy. He was the guy at was it Princeton where he was at?
Mhm.
Where he was teaching, and he had the
other professor.
other professor. Yes.
Okay, yeah, he was
Yeah.
good too.
And
This whole
he-
cast was
he-
phenomenal.
He looks. Josh Hartnett looks.
Rami
looks
Malek was
good.
in it.
Looks good as
Jack
well.
Jack Quaid.
Rami Malek was good in it.
Yeah, Jack Quaid. I love Jack Quaid.
You know what? You know another actor I really love in the Dame DeHaan was in this. You guys, he was the he's in the movie he was Matt Damon's like assistant basically, and then he had a bigger role later on. That's Dame DeHaan. I really like him as an actor.
Oh, another person, Alex Wolff. From what's that movie? Not Midsummer. The other scary movie that came out around the same time. Hereditary.
I didn't see that.
He was the,
Ooh.
yeah.
And then the two.
Wait, who's that from Hereditary?
Remember the son? The son.
Oh,
He's in
Hereditary?
this?
Yeah, he's in this. Yep.
Oh,
Mhm.
Have you guys watched The Green Knight?
No.
No.
No, I want to.
Oh, really good. He's in it. It's really, really
Was
good.
that's a
What do you guys
Netflix movie,
think
right?
of?
No, it came in
No, that
theaters.
came
but
out in
It's been out
theaters.
for a while. Yeah.
Okay.
What do you guys think of Florence Pugh and Emily Blunt?
You first. I'm gonna speak first. Florence
Go
Pugh.
ahead.
I have like the biggest crush on her as an actor. She is phenomenal as an actor. Any movie that she's in, she absolutely kills it. Series that she's in, when she was in Hawkeye, absolutely killed it. When she was in Midsummer, absolutely. Like she's just a great actor, and anytime she's in the movie, she absolutely kills it.
I think she was the standout. Like Emily Blunt was good, but
Emily Blunt was good.
Florence,
Yeah.
Florence Pugh was really good, and
Yeah,
her performance was really good.
yeah.
Did you guys think the sex scenes were unnecessary? That's the kind of thing that is like kind of being debated right now. It's not in Christopher Nolan's wheelhouse.
It's
This is his
not.
first R-rated movie.
Yeah, this
I
is not
thought there was
his.
one scene where there was a nude scene out of place that I thought was really effective, especially a look on a character's face.
Can we just talk about it? Sure. Okay, let's just talk about
That
Oppenheimer.
one in
Well,
that
Yeah,
room with
talk
the other
about it. I
dude.
don't
this
care.
one.
Go for it.
You want the scene where they were sitting in the seats talking?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was out of
And then the
place.
camera pans, and then all of a sudden he's
I
like,
thought the
naked.
other nude
You
scenes.
say Oppenheimer's dick.
Yeah, you see.
He was giving
He's
her
like,
the
you want a
Oppenheimer,
mushroom
you know
head,
what I'm saying?
baby? I'll give you
Yeah,
a mushroom.
mushroom head, exactly.
Mushroom.
I thought that was acting absolutely.
That's what this movie was missing. Oppenheimer's sex talk.
Yeah,
He's like, yeah, I'm about to split your atoms, bitch.
I absolutely. At first, I thought I'm not gonna lie. When I first
2, 1.
one ignition.
We have ignition.
Yeah,
It's like shut up.
like just stick it in
become
already.
death, the destroyer of worlds.
He's wearing like a lab coat and goggles while he's having sex.
Ed said it right. He's quoting like
I become death.
I've become
The
Destroyer of
Destroyer of
worlds.
Worlds. Yeah, she's like,
She's just like, I'm going home.
yeah. I'm putting my clothes back on. The sex scenes, I really thought. Do we really want to talk about this, or we want to save it for another episode?
Yeah, go for it, man.
But no,
How far-
no.
They're irrelevant to the structure of the movie. I think they're just unexpected.
No, I'm saying, do we really want to go into this Oppenheimer review? We're supposed to be.
Here's the thing. There's not much to review. I think we've done it. We don't need to revisit this
Okay,
movie.
fine. Let's just do it.
Okay.
I think the sex
we'll
scene-
just give our blurs and move on here.
Okay, the sex scene, I thought was. At first, I thought it was not necessary, and the reason why
The first one or two.
the first one or two.
Yeah.
I think there's
I
only.
agree.
I think there's only what 2 sex scenes.
There's
And then-
3.
and then the third-
Yeah.
And then in the nude scene, there's 2 nude scenes.
There's 2 nude scenes and a.
Yeah, it's one where it's just
No,
Florence
there's
Pugh.
2 sex scenes and a nude scene.
Where the one is just Florence Pugh naked.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so first I thought they were not necessary for this movie. And I think if you would have taken them out, you still would have had a very great movie. Just because Christopher Nolan is Christopher Nolan, he just makes great movies. The thing is that when I heard Cillian Murphy talk about it, like how he described it, this was a representation of Oppenheimer's mental state at that time. Like it showed that he wasn't just the man behind, the atomic bomb or whatever. That ultimately he was the man he was a flawed man, and that there were many forces behind him that helped him to get to the state that he was in.
Makes
And
sense.
with him dealing with the Communist Party members, and how the loss of Florence Pugh, spoiler alert for anybody who wants to watch this, the loss of Florence Pugh was like a character development for him at that time, and that ultimately that it humanizes a person who's literally, like Ed said, he's death. And when you think of people who have killed mass genocide of people, and I'm not saying that that's necessarily genocide, but the mass death of individuals, Oppenheimer's name is in that bucket. And the fact that instead of looking at him as he's just the creator, the pioneer of atomic weaponry,
He's a Prometheus.
yeah, instead of just looking at him as that, he's still a person. And with that idea in mind, I could see why those scenes were kind of necessary.
Well, that specific scene, if you watch the camera move, like, I mean, in that scene, what I really like about that scene is that hearing that he's in, that closed door hearing.
Yeah.
He's being pretty much laid bare. And there's a scene where it crosses across and he has no clothes on abruptly. And you're like, what the hell? And it crosses behind as they're talking about. And then it's the sex scene, like superimposed, like she's there now.
Yeah,
as they're talking about this, and it's not just his mental state, it's his
It's the
wife's
wife's.
mental state
Must be
who's
too, yeah.
behind watching, because she's laid bare too. This is
Yeah.
their deepest, darkest.
Secret,
The
yeah.
visualization of that, they could have gotten rid of the other scenes, but that scene was so
powerful.
good, powerful and striking, and got to the point of how they all felt.
It was definitely
it was good. The
it was
feeling was good.
it was a scene that it wasn't. It was one of the most unexpected scenes for sure out of
Very
this
Okay.
movie.
unexpected.
And the whole so for people to understand what was going on, he's being grilled by a special tribunal, not for war, not criminals, but for his clearance. And literally, he's in a room, a small office, a very small office with a couple people, like 4 or 5 people. His wife is behind him, sitting on the couch, and he's sitting there just getting interrogated, pretty much. And it goes from him being fully clothed to him being fully naked. Turns back around, he's having sex with
In that room.
In
And
that
I
room,
assume that scene, I don't know how the logistics of that scene was shot, but if shot that scene
she
in
ran
that
it.
room with those guys, like, I
It was a
mean,
one shot, right? It was a one shot. It looked like it was
there's
one
one
shot.
shot, but I mean, how uncomfortable, like, I mean, she's a professional. I'm sure she did it, but, or maybe they superimposed it. It's a CG thing.
Could be a
Maybe.
body double.
I was
yeah.
just thinking about, like, it could be a body double.
No,
I was just thinking
that's,
about how,
her.
like, yeah.
Because we see her
Okay,
naked in
all
other
right.
movies. So
No,
that
but
was her.
like Darkseid said, you can also superimpose faces too.
Yeah.
Well, what I'm saying is
It-
that we've seen her body naked in previous movies.
Yes, yeah.
That was her body. Trust me.
It's just unusual. The reason we're talking about this in 2023 is that there are the idea of a sex scene being necessary in a film or being gratuitous is being debated, and this is one of those scenes where I think there's a big argument for why it's. I love the scene, and the sex in it is not even like, I thought it was one of the creepiest things I've ever seen. The look on her face, looking at the wife, I think it was really like,
Well, at this point,
nailed everything,
this
and
this
he's
woman
nailing her. You know what I'm saying?
this woman has
So-
been dead.
Hell
Well,
yeah.
this woman has been dead for what 20 some years at this point,
Mhm,
maybe
mhm.
or like 10 some years. This has been I think this was taking place in the mid 60s.
I
So
thought it was
yeah,
older than I wasn't.
it might have been older, but this woman's been dead for 10 years plus. And the way that like Florence Pugh's character was just staring at the wife, Emily Blunt is looking at her with like tears in her eyes, like she's not even paying attention to what's going on in the room. Oppenheimer's not reacting to this. He's literally still sitting there being interrogated. Florence Pugh is just riding him and looking at his wife. Emily Blunt is looking at her and just focusing on her. And like Darkseid said, this is him being laid bare. Their deepest, darkest secrets are getting laid bare. The fact that he had a relationship and literally was cheating on his wife, a secret that only they knew about, is being laid bare for the world. And this is not even, like she was saying, like this was not even a situation where he is being tried for it. It's not like he has to go to jail for this.
No.
This is for a security clearance, which would discredit him across the world within every community. This is during like after World War II, during the era of the Cold War.
Yeah.
This is literally laying him bare, where this is not even something where he can go to jail for. This is just gonna pretty much
Mess
he
my
would
clearance life.
mess his clearance, but then he can just go away quietly. But he's fighting against the superpowers to use these weapons. And she has to sit here. She's an innocent bystander. She's literally getting caught in the fallout, and it's amazing. It is a very amazing scene. And like I said, I was one to first say, I'm like, the sex wasn't necessary, but going back at it and looking at the acting and the mental state and having discussion about it definitely has put it to another level. I'm looking at all the cast of these actors, right? Absolutely amazing. All
I
these
mean,
people.
I'm pretty
Phenomenal.
sure that Cillian Murphy's going to be for sure nominated, if not win,
You better.
for Oppenheimer.
Easily.
I hope, like, we'll see what happens, but I know Nolan's going to be nominated because it's a beautiful film.
Yeah.
And I hope. I was thinking like either Florence Pugh is good. Emily Blunt is also really good in the scene where she testifies and turns it around. I love that scene
I
so
didn't
much.
see that coming.
She was good. She was damn good in that scene.
Rami Malek, his
Was damn good too.
damn. And this is once again, these are A-list actors literally getting 15 lines or whatever.
Yeah,
And
it's weird.
that's all they get, which is weird. We're not used to seeing these A-list actors getting no lines, but they have such huge impacts.
Now did you guys see this week 1? I know I just saw it today, right?
Yes.
Okay. And I also saw it within the last 2 days. Now that wasn't for me, my lack of trying. I have tried to see this movie for about, what is it, a week and a half that's been out. I have been
Yeah.
trying to see this movie at the IMAX, but the IMAX is top to bottom locked down.
Yes.
I mean, so when I did go, I went to the 10:45 a.m. show, and that's the only way I could see it, because of the 6, forget about it. It's locked up for a couple weeks.
I have to.
So this is a huge, like, Oppenheimer. I mean, it's been talked about how good it's doing at the box office, but like, you could see it. So when I was away last week, I had to drive by the theater a lot, and that thing, daylight to night, it was packed.
Packed.
That it was like Avengers Endgame every damn day.
It
Yeah.
was the same. It was the same for me. So I saw it today, a week later, week
Mhm.
and a half later, and I was trying to see it like at 11:30 a.m. But it
In
was packed
IMAX?
in
In IMAX?
IMAX, and it was packed.
Yeah, yeah.
And I
Yeah.
tried 4 theaters.
I
One
couldn't
was
see the
in
IMAX.
well, I chose because this was made for IMAX, and plus it's Nolan. I mean, every Nolan film I've seen
It's
has been
Nolan,
IMAX.
and now that I go back to it, there are some very nice vista shots of New Mexico, and there's some effect shots, but I don't know, like, if it was necessary to see this in IMAX.
In
But
IMAX.
I'm not complaining, and I accept it the way it is, because I think I'll seek any movie on the best screen possible. But there was nothing in here that was like, you know how when you're watching The Dark Knight and the aspect ratio changes and you're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh shit, like it's a visual change.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was none of that in this, and maybe it's because the whole thing was seamless. But it was a beautifully shot film. It just that big action sequence is not in there that you would
That
want.
warrants it. I agree. I didn't see a huge need for it. And if I could have saw it in IMAX, I would have. Unfortunately, I was in a large group. It was only with 2 other people. But
Mhm.
yeah, I saw it, and I mean, even for like, I mean, I live in a more rural area. There's still a lot of people in that theater, even for a non IMAX showing. Now, granted, this was opening weekend. We saw it in the middle of the day, so it wasn't necessarily the packed like how you guys are in a more urban environment or
Mhm.
suburban environment. But I was still impressed at how many seats were taken
Mhm.
for this movie. Like I said, this is not the action movie of the year. This is not Dark Knight. This is not what's the other one?
Avengers
Not Avenger. No, no.
or
I'm thinking
Nolan.
Inception or
Inception or anything like
yeah,
that,
yeah,
or Interstellar. This is a biopic, and it still
Yeah.
did very
Mhm.
well. So,
Mhm.
So
um,
I tried to see this at 11 in the morning, and it was packed at 4 theaters, and I ended up seeing it at 2 p.m. And the one I went to was still fairly packed. I was able to get a decent seat. And I will say that this movie's not for everyone. There was one person that, like, when he got up and he was leaving, he was saying that this movie, what was the exact words? Was overhyped.
Holy shit.
No, he said it was overhyped,
yeah,
but he came across as a um strictly Marvel person. Like he was expecting well, he was expecting fight scenes with explosions and
yeah,
stuff like that.
Hell
Yeah.
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 He
He was
should
gonna
stay
see.
for the what's it called, the stinger at the end of Oppenheimer.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
Like
Exactly.
there's a rubble of like stones, and then a
He
hand
was
falls
actually
out,
looking on
and
his
then it's
phone.
Einstein. Hello.
No, he
yeah.
was actually looking
Bam.
on his phone to see just in case there was like something at the end. Like he was the Marvel guy.
Of
But
course.
Mhm.
anyone else that was like seeing this movie they were like talking as we were walking out and said, wow, that movie was freaking amazing. But that one guy who was a Marvel guy was saying like, wow, it's overhyped.
Let people have their preferences. What's wrong with that?
I'm not saying
Why
don't
everyone
have your own
should stick
preference.
to like what you like? Is that what you're trying
No,
to
no,
say?
I'm not trying to say. I'm trying to say is this
Then why are
movie's
you trying to
not.
govern someone's
I'm not trying
preferences
to
in a movie?
govern or gatekeep or anything. All I'm saying is this movie is not for everybody. That's all I'm saying. It's a
Why are you
great
trying to
movie.
gatekeep, Ed?
Yeah, then why
Yeah.
did you use detractors to explain the guy? Oh, he's a Marvel guy.
Yeah.
Well, he is.
Well, he's trying to qualify it, and that's something that we could understand. And I get what Ed is trying to say.
Shut up.
Back off of him. Let
Yeah,
him
what
do it.
the hell?
But
I'm just
to be
saying.
fair, there's movies out there like one movie that I liked, and it's very gratuitous. I don't know if that's even
Yes.
word, not even the right word for it.
Gritty.
very gritty, but Nymphomaniac, right? Nymphomaniac was
Oh, I've been wanting to watch that movie.
I love that movie, but that's not
I
a
don't know
movie
if
for
I
everybody.
love it. It is a slog to get through.
It definitely is. It's
Because
a
I
long
like
movie.
the Antichrist. I liked a lot. So
I
Yeah,
didn't see that.
Antichrist is like, believe it or not, faster paced than this.
Is that
It's
Well,
really
no,
good,
I don't know
but-
about that.
Is that another
actually.
Lars
Never
movie?
mind. Yeah.
Okay. Dark Side, we might be losing. Oh,
Or
Oh,
no,
all good?
so
Am I gone?
we
okay.
so
We're good. I think we're good.
Dreamcast. You're
Yes.
the only one that's not frozen.
Yeah, I see. Yeah,
So
you three
you?
are for.
No, I'm looking on my
I'm
TV.
frozen.
Yeah, I'm looking
We're
at
all
OBS.
frozen except for
Yeah, I'm looking at OBS, and you got all
Stand
three
by.
of
I'm
you.
checking the Twitch feed.
But you guys
I've
are kind of
been-
pixelated and frozen, but I'm good.
yeah.
So, but
Sweet, I can finally start throwing gang signs at the screen.
yeah, no, overall I feel like this movie was a really good movie. But yeah, not every movie is gonna be made for everybody at the end of the day. Like Nymphomaniac, some people loved it, some people hated it. Nymphomaniac still scored well. It's just a movie that is different. And yeah, like Oppenheimer, I'm not expecting everybody to love it. I was actually expecting a lot more people, even myself, not to be as big of a fan of it. Now, granted, this is Christopher Nolan. We are stands for Christopher Nolan, and we're all, for the most part, always going to enjoy his movies.
Yes.
But Christopher Nolan has a touch that I think for even if you don't like his movies, you can appreciate what he does. And when it comes to directing movies, he does that very well. Even if you do not enjoy the subject matter,
The story.
yeah. Like he kind of reminds me, and I don't know necessarily I want to put him in the same position as
Don't
far
go
as
where I think you're gonna go.
what do you think I was gonna say?
Are you gonna say Kubrick?
No.
No.
Oh, thank God.
I was gonna say
okay.
Snyder. Snyder is
Oh,
another
okay.
like Snyder. For the most part, Snyder doesn't miss. Snyder does very well. Snyder usually does very well, and I think if you enjoy,
I don't. Yeah, I would disagree. I don't think they're entirely on the same.
I don't.
like,
No, they're not.
wavelength.
No, I'm not saying the same wavelength, but they're parallel to each other. Like I would say that, like
I don't even know about that.
Nolan's up here.
Snyder's very commercial.
is
Nolan's up here,
like,
up here. But I'm saying,
yeah.
like what Snyder does, he does well, and he usually can knock it out of the
Sure.
park. So that's what I'm saying.
Nolan is like the
Sure.
person that you would go to visit at 7:00 p.m. at the most inspirational, high price, luxurious restaurant in town. Snyder's like, hey, want to get a pizza somewhere? Yeah, let's go to get a pizza at Giordano's.
I would disagree with
What's wrong
that.
with Giordano's?
Nothing's wrong with Giordano's.
I would
What's
disagree.
wrong with
I would
Giordano's?
disagree with
Good.
that.
I
I'll say James
disagree.
Cameron.
I think Christopher Nolan is not that inaccessible that you're describing.
Yeah, I think James Cameron
I think
is.
you're putting him way.
No, I'm saying if you
overboard.
want quality good, a quality good experience and good food, Nolan's where it's
He's
at.
saying that his
Yeah, well, I'd rather eat at Giordano's
films are
most of the time.
crafted.
Well,
so,
no,
I mean,
the thing is,
at a
both are
higher
good.
level.
Yeah, I know
Okay.
what he's saying, but with the level that he's putting him at, like I would put like James Cameron is literally probably the untouchable area. James Cameron is probably like the Michelin star.
Yeah, when it
Michelin
comes
star.
to like technical and everything.
Technical,
yeah,
yes, I'm talking about
Cameron
literally,
is
yeah.
shoulders above everyone.
Yeah, he's shoulders above everybody when it comes to
But
food. But
so-
then, but for Nolan, I would say so. You have Michelin star. Hey, this costs a lot of money to
Please
get.
explain it to me in terms of pizza restaurants because I'm
Pizza,
very.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay, so I'll break
so
it down.
one
Domino's,
is Pizza
Giordano's.
Hut, and then
Okay.
the other one is
Okay, so this is how I would break it down.
I'm
If you're
joking.
gonna bring-
Please don't do
no,
that.
I'm gonna do it in pizza.
Well,
I'm
please
gonna
do
do it
it.
in pizza.
Oh,
do it.
fuck's sake.
Pequods.
Alright.
Okay.
I don't know what that
What the
is.
hell's Pequod?
Wait,
I get you,
Tombstone.
Pequod.
You know,
Okay,
the
so
Pequods.
there's
So
Pizza
Pequods.
Hut,
Mhm.
Tombstone, we can get at Home Run Inn, Giordano's.
The fact that you don't know what Pequod is and you're from Chicago,
You're from Chicago, so that's
that
even more.
literally lets me
Uno's,
know.
you know what Uno's is?
Yes.
Yeah. Every tourist knows too.
Ugh.
Like the fact that you don't know Pequods, you can't even talk about pizza. So I would say Pequods would be something like I would say that's James Cameron, right? That's the high level. You're gonna sit there for an hour and a half just to get a table before you can even order your slice or order your pie.
Yes, yeah.
And then from there, below that, I
Pie.
would say
What is this fucking New
Who's
York
the
talk?
mod
It's a
pizza,
pizza.
director? Who's the mod pizza directors? That's all.
I mean, okay, so
Who's the
Pequod's
Little Caesars? So
Little
director,
Caesars?
that's what I
Wow.
want.
shit. That's Patty Jenkins in my mind.
Yeah.
Like, she can get you something hot and ready in 5 minutes, and then that's when you get Wonder Woman.
Who's
And
the
it's only good when
who's
it's
the
hot.
Tortino's Pizza Rolls of directors?
Whoever directed Starship Troopers 4, that's the
There you go.
Totino's piece. No, Sharknado. But
I was
hey,
gonna say Robert Rodriguez.
God bless him.
with
God bless him.
Totino's.
Yes.
It can get bad because you can even get worse than that. You can get dollar store pizza. Literally,
Oh, yeah.
there's no
That
cheese.
exists? Oh yeah, that is.
Yeah, so you
Or
get pizza.
gas station pizza. You don't know who's touched it.
Well, no.
Wow.
Hey.
Don't knock that pizza sometimes.
Yeah.
No.
See, you're-
Don't you come here with your East Coast
East Coast
bullshit.
Wawa.
Like
Gas
everybody
station.
Yeah, okay.
purchases and it's a
East
gas
Coast
station. Over
gas
here in the
station
Midwest.
restaurants.
Okay.
You guys say
There's
that.
fecal matters. There's flesh eating
Yes.
There's
bacteria. You name it
flies.
on our food. So
You know
no
what they call that
specific-
over on the East Coast? Flavor, son. That's flavor.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Flavor on there.
All right, so let's talk about. Okay, let's wrap up.
So speaking
Oppenheimer.
about-
Oh, did you wash your hands? It's like,
Nah,
no.
fuck that.
You did? Man.
Nah,
Make
man.
a new one, please. Make a new one, please.
Yeah, you want that? You want that hot dog now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead. Were you about to say something?
I was just saying, speaking about the Marvel guy, there is something Marvel that did come out, but I think we're going to do blurries or whatever for Oppenheimer.
Yes.
Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer. Yes.
Oppenheimer.
Yes,
What's his name, Ed? I just want to make sure.
it's the movie I said.
Okay.
That
Oppenheimer.
is-
What's
what?
his name though? What's his
Oppenheimer?
name?
Oppenheimer.
His name was Robert.
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 Oppenheimer.
Ed, you still thinking
Oppenheimer.
about that DJ you were checking out later?
Her name is Jess something. But yes.
As careful with his pronouns now, because he can't say
Yeah, now he's
she or
careful.
he.
Her name.
That lisp has disappeared.
Yeah, that's
No,
weird.
it's still there. I just don't use it when I, in
How
this
convenient.
case. Yes.
When the blood flow has left his brain, he somehow
Buffalo.
blood flow.
Blood flow.
Oh, blood flow.
Yeah, when the
I
blood
said
flow.
blood
Voice
flow.
went deaf too.
Yeah, it's all right.
No.
All right, let's go.
How tight is that do-rag right now, buddy?
Yeah, it's pretty tight.
What? I don't hear what you said.
Yeah, of course he did. Hearing's gone, guys. We officially lost the underground.
All right.
All right, okay, let's go blurries. Oppenheimer, I would give it 9.5. I think this was a
Damn.
relatively now this is in the realm of biopics and so forth. Now, if you're gonna base it off of action and everything else, of course it'll be lower. But for what it was, the movie was funny. Matt Damon had some funny ass lines. It was really good. I thought it was funny when it needed to be funny. It was serious when it needed to be serious.
Mhm.
The drama and the action as it occurred, especially if you're for your first time watch, there were things that happened that you could not account for, like you couldn't explain. You weren't expecting it. That's there was no expectation for it, and I think that's pretty awesome in a movie. So yeah, I would say 9.5, easy.
All right. Overhyped. 8.5. It was very good.
Wow.
Mhm.
Okay.
Eduardo.
Mhm.
I would say 9.5. If you're looking for a
9
movies-
average.
Yeah,
9.5.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'll say 9,
Very good.
9.5, 8.5. Yeah.
8.5.
Yeah, we're at 9.
It's definitely a high scoring movie for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
I would
This
just
is-
say if you're looking for the if you know of Christopher Nolan's previous movies, it has a lot of action, a lot of suspense. That's not here. There's suspense, but there's no
There's a
action.
lot of suspense.
There's no
Yes.
fighting. No one's fighting. There's no action scenes. But if you're looking for
No.
that in this movie, you're not going
Do
to.
you guys ever see the movie First Man with Ryan Gosling? This movie reminded me a lot of First Man.
No, I didn't see it.
No.
Okay,
I
it's got
didn't-
the same
no.
tone and feel, and it's very good.
I didn't cross my mind at all.
Also good in IMAX. Anyways, all right, cool.
All right, so
Cool.
All right, Oppenheimer. So for our listeners,
Oh,
something that we just came at, left field on and talking about, but hope you enjoyed that quick
change the
little
title.
review. No, we'll
Hmm.
keep it. It's whatever.
I'm talking in Spotify
Shut up.
podcasts.
Okay. Anyways, Ed, so you're about to say something.
Man, shut your
Oh, yeah.
stupid face.
Okay, let's hear this transition.
Yeah, Dark
This-
Side.
Okay,
Yeah.
watch. This is about to be a legendary transition.
All right, let's see it. Let's
Yes.
hear it.
So, speaking about the Marvel guy who was expecting lots of fight scenes and things blowing up, things that blow up, but not
What
in the way
Marvel guy?
anticipated.
Wait.
The
Sorry.
Marvel guy that was
The
at the
Marvel
movie
guy in
I
the
saw.
In his
theater
theater,
that
his
was the
theater.
movie.
Yes,
Yeah.
open your
You're
ears.
trying to attach a segue to a note you put in 30 minutes ago?
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
called a
Holy
callback.
shit.
Yes,
Ever
Yeah.
heard of a
Okay,
callback?
all right. Yeah,
If you
speaking of
paid
that
it-
Marvel
if you
guy.
paid it- if you paid
Fuck me.
attention to this movie that we just saw, you would have
Yeah.
noticed there's some callbacks in that movie too.
Right,
So
but
I'm
your
doing a callback here.
segue
I'm
is
doing a callback.
okay, all right. Go ahead, proceed.
All right.
Let's
So the
let
Marvel
him cook.
guy, the Marvel guy that saw the movie. Speaking about Marvel, we did see a Marvel series called Secret Invasion. Boom.
Wait a minute. I just want to make sure I understand this.
Jesus Christ.
You were sitting on this. Like we've been
So
streaming
his
for
segue.
we've been streaming for 1 hour 23 minutes and 44 45 46 seconds.
Sweet.
We've probably been talking about Oppenheimer for at least 30 to 40 minutes.
Yes.
You talked about Marvel guy probably halfway through that.
Yes.
So you've been cooking, sitting on that, savoring, letting it simmer, letting it
you
stew.
paused.
Marinate.
No. Well, yeah, I was gonna say marinate, but the marinating, I was gonna use that later. But yeah, you can say that marinating now. You've been stewing on this for all this other time and not realizing that you've been marinating in shit. That was probably one of the most shit transitions I have ever heard in my entire 93 episode career in the Blur podcast. Who the fuck cares about random Marvel guy? And then
Marvel guy cares about
and
Marvel
all you
guy.
did was
Ed cares about Marvel.
all
guy.
you
I
did
did.
was and bring up. You said Marvel guy wanted to see
Yeah.
a Marvel episode, and guess what we saw? We saw a Marvel episode.
Yeah.
Boom. That's
Yeah.
that is
And
what
you understand that your transition would have worked if
And
you
it did.
transitioned right after
Right
you
after
said
you
that
said it.
And it
story.
did.
But you you added the transition 30 minutes after your irrelevant comment. It made no
It's-
sense.
It's so good that you're still talking about it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I literally
Okay.
don't remember what he's
Yeah,
talking
mate.
about.
Yeah.
The Marvel guy
Wow.
reference.
The check.
Yeah.
I'll have
It's
to
good
listen
enough
again.
that you're
Mate.
still talking about it.
You understood.
Check.
That's all that matters.
Mate.
Okay.
Go on.
Secret
It seems
invasion.
like you're playing. It seems like you're
Secret
more playing
invasion.
Connect Fours. It seems like you're playing Connect Four. Like check.
I was playing Connect
Mate.
8.
Yes,
I was
you're playing.
Yeah,
Connect eight.
that's what it sounded like.
Yeah, you're playing
Ed
3D
is, Ed
chess.
is playing fucking like
Connect 8.
yeah, he's playing like Operation or something.
Yeah, like he is
With
way
the
above.
batteries out and everything is
He's
on the
playing
floor.
Don't Wake Up, Daddy.
Yeah, yeah. He's like,
No, I never played that
Oh,
game.
that's such a
he's like
callback.
checkmate, funny bone.
But yeah, he's like,
It's
that's
not even
weird.
on. There's no batteries in this thing.
He's like, oh, that's weird. I don't
We're
seem to
playing
ever
chess,
lose.
motherfucker.
Hungry hippos.
Well,
Smack.
And I
Yeah,
won.
he's like, I don't lose. That's so weird. Ed's playing with all the hippos at the same time. But all right, so thank you, Ed, for that beautiful transition. All right, so another thing that going from the highs to the lows, we went from talking about Oppenheimer we gave it a 9 overall. I don't think we're gonna hit the same thing for Secret Invasion.
Are
We'll
you
see.
sure?
We'll
Are you
see.
sure?
Well, see, the thing is,
see.
I don't know. That's why I don't think we're going. If I was going to be a betting man, I'm assuming that it's going to be a little bit lower. Now, for certain people on this podcast, they are going to rate it a lot higher. I already know one of the people that's going to do it, and that's probably going to be me based on the aggregate score. I'm probably going to rate it higher than the aggregate score. But yeah, Secret Invasion has been out. We saw how many episodes? 6, 7 episodes?
All
Six
six.
episodes. Six
Was it
episodes.
6? Okay.
There's 6
Mhm.
episodes
Mhm.
of the Skrull invasion taking place on Earth. This is
Mm.
obviously after the blip, after Endgame, after I think this is actually caught up with everything that's happened within the MCU, including Miss Marvel. So this is a very interesting show, the latest show from Marvel. And kind of depicts a totally different world that we're used to seeing. We're usually coming from the world of superheroes, gods, and finger snapping and finger banging and all this other stuff that's going on in the Marvel universe.
Mhm.
But now, I'm trying to keep you on your toes. But now we go to the world
fingers.
back to the espionage world, back to
Up your age.
yeah,
How about that?
we're going back to the world of what was it?
Deception.
Deception. We're going back to
yeah.
Captain
And
America,
spies.
spies and
Mm.
whatnot. And this is the first debut series with our leading man Samuel L. Jackson, Nick Fury himself, actually leading the entire this entire series.
Nick
Um,
motherfucking Fury.
Nick motherfucking Fury, the race swamped character that the Ed Underground at one point hated.
Perfect.
Whoa! I never
Perfect.
said I hated Nick
No,
Fury.
I'm kidding. But,
Wait, why the exception for Nick Fury?
Where's the Valzad of Nick Fury's?
The
Yeah.
Valzad?
Dick Dury.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nick Dury's right there. Why don't you guys use Dick Dury?
I'm gonna say something
was
so
fine.
messed up. Never mind. I'll say it till after the podcast.
Yeah, hold on.
Okay, we already got canceled
damn, now I wanna
once.
hear it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'll type it out to you guys and we can go on.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yeah, this is his debut.
Yeah, this is the first Nick Fury leading series. It was oh man, come on.
Yeah, so we're going to go.
Oh, man.
Unfortunately, guys, you had to sign up to our
That's
after
messed
hours.
up.
You have to sign up to our after hours to see this. What people also call Nick Fury, the Valzad
Interesting.
Nick Fury. But yeah, so overall, this I feel like this series started off pretty well.
Hey, can we so we reviewed the first 2 episodes, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Podcast?
We
We
did.
read the first.
And now I don't remember. I remember rating it very high.
Yeah, I remember that too.
I like that a lot.
I remember that
Yeah.
too.
I know.
yeah.
I think there's some revisions. No, I'm saying you. I think you rated it high. Some
I think I
other
rated
people,
it high.
I
think
think
some-
you both did.
I didn't rate it high.
Yeah, so I'm saying I
Yeah,
think there's some
you did.
revisionist history.
I think.
Oh no, I was saying yeah, to
Creamcast.
Dark Side rating it high.
Okay.
Yeah, we were
Oh,
rating it high. Creamcast, you were rating it high.
Mhm.
Green Tuner, I think you said it was straight up boring.
Yes.
And I have no idea what Ed Underground
I
said
was-
He sounds
said
boring.
similar
Generally?
to
Yeah,
what
he's-
Green Tuner
He
said.
says very boring. He didn't want to
Okay.
watch the rest. He really didn't want to finish it out because he was like, "Hey, this is not my type of show."
Don't remember. I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Okay. Well, so okay,
Yeah, the
that
show
was the
was.
first 2 episodes.
yes.
And since then, the story has expanded.
Mm.
There was a lot of revelations regarding Nick Fury. I think that second episode ends with the cliffhanger of revealing Nick Fury's Skrull girlfriend, on and off
Girlfriend.
Wife?
Girlfriend.
wife. Sorry,
Wife.
wife.
No, it's wife.
Wife.
Wow, respect.
Yeah, whoa.
Yeah.
So,
Respect
for
the
a
sanctity
person
of
who
marriage.
likes this series. Sure miss a big one right
Yeah, no. Okay, that ring comes off real fast. That's all I'm saying.
It does. It does.
Mm.
But anyways, yeah, so they revealed her, and I'm trying to go back to my memory and all the stuff they're revealing. Don Cheadle his role got expanded a little bit more. I was
Mhm.
surprised. The more I watched, the more he was in it. I thought he was just cashing in for the first 2 episodes and he's out of here.
Yeah, I thought so too.
But man, he reappears in the second part. What do you guys think of
Yeah.
Don Cheadle like coming back? What do you think of that?
Good as always.
Yeah,
Solid as always.
solid.
Cheats? You liked him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved his appearance. I thought I think he did a great job. I love the dynamic that they had with him and Fury. They seemed like old friends, and you didn't
No, it
skip a
wasn't
beat.
him.
Yeah, I mean, of course.
Yeah, we know Ed.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, Captain
By the
Obvious
way,
here.
extreme spoilers for Secret
Yeah.
Yeah,
Invasion.
extreme spoilers.
Everyone
Coming.
should know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I thought it was great. They had a great connection. Like, like, what's up, brother? Like, it was a cool vibe that they had, and which is great because it does. If you were not expecting the big cliffhanger or the big teaser or the big reveal of Don Cheadle being actually a Skrull, that then it looked like it was a legit interaction. Like, this is actually Don Cheadle, Rhodey actually having a conversation with Nick Fury, kind of tired of his bullshit. He's at a higher position. Like, it is what it is.
There is a subtle performance change halfway through the series once you realize he's not your Rhodey.
Yeah.
You like hate him a little bit while you're watching him.
You
know
do.
what I mean? And he kind of
plays into that.
into it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that. I
He
like
enjoys that power stroke, that
Mhm.
power trip of he knows that Nick Fury has an idea that he's that he might be a Skrull, but he can't do anything about it. Well, no, actually, I don't think did he even know that Nick Fury knew? Yeah, he knew that Nick Fury knew.
Nick Fury, he knew that Nick Fury
Yeah,
knew.
he knew.
That's one of my. We'll get to it. That's one of my biggest complaints here is how many people knew in certain moments and just didn't do anything.
Yeah, he couldn't do anything about it.
No, he's a Skrull.
Yeah,
just shoot him.
Yeah,
He's a Skrull right now. Shoot him.
Yeah.
Or shoot. Why are you letting him walk away? The amount of times the main bad guy walked away, like, and they're just like watching, like, damn you, damn you.
I got
like,
this gun.
I wish I had something like amount of times.
Start shooting his gun up there.
Like he's standing right there. The president is in danger, man. What the fuck are you waiting on?
Yeah.
And like, but again, they introduced this Super Skrull. So we talked a little bit about this in the first two episodes. Super Skrulls from the comic book. But they introduced that regeneration aspect. So I guess that whole like shoot him doesn't make any sense. But there's sequences with Don Cheadle in closed rooms with Nick Fury. Is like, I know you're a Skrull. It's like, I know you know I'm a Skrull. Yeah. And like, I'll get you. And I was like, I'll get you too. It's like, I'll get you one of these days. I'm, like,
I'm gonna get you.
Just kill him,
but later.
Did you guys? Like, I did like that scene where they had the
Pappy.
The Pappy. Yeah, they had the Pappy.
Was good.
Pappy Van Winkle sitting there, and he's like, man, they're Skrulls. Like they're in the White House. Like how close are they? Like sitting right across from you. And it's just like it's funny because as a black person, I like Samuel L. Jackson. He has mannerisms of that cool black uncle. Like it was just funny the interaction between him and Rhodey. Obviously Don Cheadle being an older black man, he's like that cool uncle too. Like they're having that kind of back and forth playful, like, what's up, brother? Like it was a cool scene to see. But yeah, at the same time, you can't help but to hate Don Cheadle. You can't help but to hate his character because it's like that he's not really real and he's playing a role and that he's ultimately trying to kill our boy Nick Fury. We know that Samuel L. Jackson, he's the man. So the fact that you guys sit there and watch that interaction, it kind of sucks a little bit. But no, I like the fact that it wasn't just I know who you are, I can just shoot you right in the head. Now, was it frustrating with Graphic situation? Absolutely. Yes. Because at certain points, Graphic wasn't a super soldier or super Skrull. So he wasn't a super Skrull. So it's kind of like, just shoot him in the head and this all will be over. But like not killing Rhodey has some dire consequences, especially if you can't explain what's going on really quick, and kind of the shock to like the president of, hey, I just killed my number one trusted advisor, and oh, by the way, he's an alien and so forth. Like I could kind of understand why that wasn't like, hey, my first instinct is just to shoot. He probably wanted to keep Rhodey alive at least long enough to be able to get the real Rhodey out.
No,
there's a lot more things that I had problems with outside of that, though. To be honest with you,
same.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot more that I had problems with.
There's a lot of issues.
There's a lot of issues with the story.
And one thing that I didn't know, because it seemed like it works sometimes, can Skrulls identify other Skrulls?
Well, in the movie,
even if they're shapeshifted.
Well,
because there were moments where it seemed like they could tell each other.
I don't remember.
I think they're all part of the same conspiracy, and they do mention that the longer they stay in their forms, the more like isn't it the more undetectable they are, or something like that?
They pretty much forget who they are.
Yeah, so it's like aside from them knowing and seeing each other, now I'm trying to remember a specific scene where like Talos like eyeballed the Skrull. I think there's an interrogation scene with Samuel Jackson and Talos and another guy. I think he kind of like eyeballed him, like, oh, he's a Skrull. He knows right away. Like, remember that?
There's times.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
I think to answer your question, yes and no. Like, I don't know. I don't have a clear answer, but it seems like some of them can, some of them can't. Maybe.
Okay. I was just wondering because of like the last fight where the girl became Samuel Jackson, and literally she became him for maybe like a couple hours.
Yeah,
and somehow fooled the guy that had been working for years with
Years, yeah,
Samuel L.
literally
Jackson.
decades.
Yeah,
Yeah.
decades.
Yeah.
Yeah, grew up
Yes.
with him.
Well, I
Yeah.
think it's
Wasn't able
also
to
like
recognize the difference.
I think it's also like
That's a plot
mannerisms
hole.
and
Oh, no, that's a plot hole because the previous squirrels that were abducted, they were in those cares with the alien things programming their, going in their brain.
Mhm.
Oh,
And
to
those
pull their memories
scrolls,
and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
the scrolls that were doing that pulled their memories, so they were able to like, know what is what before they became that person.
Well, the
In
difference
this
is
case,
that Gaia grew up with Samuel L. Jackson. She grew up with him and was working operations with him.
yeah,
So
she was literally raised by him
she was
in
raised
a
by him.
sense.
Yeah. So like that was her uncle. So she knew
Mm.
she was just like Gravik was Fury's son pretty much. Gaia was his niece. So for them, she already had a lot of the back and forth. And you remember that Gaia and Gravik grew up together. So
Mm.
all the things that Gravik went through, Gaia already knew. Like when
Mm.
Graphic was
okay.
going through, like, hey, do you remember this face? Do you remember who this is? Blah, blah, blah. This is the person, the first guy you had me kill, and so forth. Gaia probably already
She
knew
probably knew that.
that
Yeah.
was that, but she just played
Okay.
like,
Okay.
She probably asked the question, "Why do you wear that face?" Like a long time ago.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
Yeah.
So she, like, cause like even when we were talking about Fury's wife, right? They like when scrolls are taking like the older scrolls when they actually take somebody's like identity, a lot of times they took identities of people that they had some type of reverence for or they knew to some extent, like
Yeah.
Fury's wife. That scene, I really did like that scene where she was like, I was her nurse and I kind of took care of her and I had a bond with her and I asked if I could take her body and so forth and learn a lot of things about her before she died. And like with these different scrolls, I'm assuming that there's always stories of the people that they're taking. They're not just taking random bodies, especially if they're going to inhabit a body for a long period of time. They're usually taking somebody that they probably wanted to be, they wanted to mimic. So, I mean, with that scene, the whole Gaia thing at the end, I kind of, well, one, I didn't see that coming. I really thought, hey, Fury's about to die.
I didn't see it coming in there. I
Yeah.
thought somehow he got infused, and I'm like, how the hell did that
Yeah,
happen?
I'm like, did he just turn into a scroll? Like maybe he turned into super lesser scroll or something like that, and I didn't know what the hell happened.
I
AKA
kind of,
Combo Man.
Yeah,
oh
The
God.
fucking design. He looked like Combo Man. Remember Darkseid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
yeah.
comic book, yeah, Combo Man, where he's like just sectioned off for every superhero.
yeah. I mean, this kind of was that. Before I go off into what I disliked about it, anything else that you guys liked about it?
Liked?
Yeah, let's talk about maybe let's talk about the positives.
Oh,
I enjoyed
I
it
can't name.
more than the
I-
beginning.
You say you liked it more in the beginning.
No, I enjoyed it the more I watched it.
Oh, the more
Like
you watched it,
the
okay.
first couple episodes were boring as hell.
Yeah.
It seemed like it picked up a little bit more, so I was a little more invested in the story.
I would
But
positives
The
for me.
cats.
Yeah, Samuel Jackson was the positive. He was he's great in the role. The man was. We were talking about people who were born to play that role. You know what I mean?
yeah, he was born to play that
Yeah,
role.
I mean, you said he speaks to people in a different way. You mentioned a black uncle. Like, I mean, for me, he embodies that cool, suave role, and he slips into it very smoothly.
Yeah.
In his conversations with other people. And I did like him doing his back and forth. Like, I know what the plan is, and I don't know what the plan is, and I know, I know. And I like that, but I also was annoyed by that and in the general plot of what is the scroll plan? And I thought the motivation, I'm getting into the negatives here. But
yeah, you kind of went from
yeah.
straight to
I mean,
negatives.
I'll be honest with you, I don't have a lot on the positives because the positives revolve around the actors, Don Cheadle and Samuel L. Jackson. And I like I said, the same thing I said in the first 2 episodes. I love the tone of this like spy thriller. I love the grittiness. I thought one thing I will say about all the episodes, they were shot really well and they were directed, and I like the tone they were directed. And all my issues are with the plot and some of the action and the structure of the series. But yeah, no, that's pretty much positive wise for me.
What about you, Underground? What you say your positives, and try to keep it to positives and not go to being a negative Nancy.
Oh, I got
Yeah.
one. I got a positive. The cast. Cast was phenomenal.
Well,
Hmm.
who specifically? Like, who did you like in the cast?
Samuel Jackson, Don Cheadle playing the bad guy.
Well, Samuel, we shouldn't even like mention because it's a
But
given.
I know,
Yeah,
but
I'm
Yeah.
gonna
I'm trying to
paraphrase
give us some
this.
positives here.
Aside from those two guys, I thought everybody else sucked. So I'm not even gonna praise the rest of the cast.
Totally
No,
disagree with.
I don't say they
The
suck.
No,
villain
all
was
right.
decent. What's his name?
Whoa,
I
whoa,
forgot
whoa,
the name. The guy who plays
Uh,
Talos, he's really good.
Ben Middleton.
Yes.
Oh,
Ben
Ben
Talos. Yeah,
Mendelsohn,
Talos
yeah,
was
he's
good.
good.
Yeah, Ben
Fellows,
Mendelsohn.
yes.
But yeah, I don't think anyone else was good.
So the guy, the main villain, I guess you'll call him. I think he's a good actor.
I think he's terrible.
Hold on,
Kingsley.
hold on.
Kingsley Ben-Adir.
Yeah, I don't think he was the best choice for this role.
I don't even think he's a good actor. I didn't even like
He
him in
didn't
the
come.
role.
Really?
He
It was
wasn't
fine.
believable. He wasn't believable as the main threat.
I think
felt
he
like a
overacted a
side
lot.
boss. He
Yeah,
felt like a
he
side
did
boss.
overact a bit, but
Yeah,
This dude was overacting in scenes he shouldn't be overacting in. He was over emote. I mean, I'm no actor, but I'm just saying, like there
But
are scenes where you
didn't believe it.
emote and where you don't over emote, and he was like going like, okay, I get it. You're a big tough bad guy. I get it. You don't need to try that hard.
yeah, those parts.
There's
Okay,
a lot
yeah,
of scenes
okay,
where he was
fine,
like,
yes,
he
okay,
had
fine,
no
fine,
he had
yeah.
no internal menace to him.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was all artificial.
He seemed misplaced. Like I can see him playing a different role in that series, but not the villain, not the main villain role. He could have played.
I will agree that he's miscast.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think
maybe he's a good actor in other stuff, but yeah, he was not.
He's in Barbie apparently. Apparently, he's in Barbie.
Who
Yeah,
isn't in Barbie?
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of people in Barbie. I mean, overall, he has a lot of shows and movies, like really like beloved shows and movies under his belt. So
Right.
overall, he's not like, C-D list actor. I mean, he's not necessarily A-list, but I'll say he's probably like B-list, working up to A. The actors I thought were great. I have a love affair with Ben Mendelsohn's voice. He has that raspy voice, very unique, and it puts a lot of like
My name is Graphic.
yeah, gravitas.
I'm sorry.
What?
There's one standout character that is better than Samuel Jackson. What is the name of the British MI6 lady?
Olivia Colman.
She was spectacular in every scene. Every scene she was in, she was a billion times better than everyone around her.
Yeah, see, that's the thing.
Head tails.
As an MI6 operative, she did phenomenal. She was the counterpart to Nick Fury, which I don't think there was a lot of love given to her. There should have been more love to her. But when she came through, she definitely stood out for sure. From the interrogation torture scene,
comedic value is amazing.
Yeah, when she brings a level of fear too. Like, how can somebody be so chipper while willing to torture you and still stay one step ahead of you every step of the way?
Oh, hi, you're a Skrull.
Yeah, like I liked her a lot.
Smile.
Yeah, she had great comedic timing, very great tone. I think Emilia Clarke, I think for the most part, outside of the last battle, I think she did fine. I think she was fine.
Disagree.
Ben Mendelsohn was fine.
What a waste of Emilia Clarke.
Clarke was not good in this.
She was okay. I'm not saying she's the best, but she wasn't good. Like
I
know she's a good actor.
Yeah.
I wish she got the hell out of this
role. Well, we've seen her act well when it's like Game of Thrones, at least.
Yes, but that's the thing. That's the only thing
I've seen her act well outside of Game of Thrones.
And what? Don't you dare speak out of your
Terminator?
Goddamn! Yeah, what the fuck? Get out of here. She does not play
about Terminator.
Okay, what else?
What are you talking about?
I was talking about some rom-com on HBO Max.
The rom-com, yes. Yeah. The rom-com.
That's how memorable
she's good in the rom-com that I can't remember the name of. Okay,
sure.
She was good in that shit.
You got me. You nailed it.
Damn right.
No, so I think Emilia Clarke, she did okay. I think she did good. You could disagree. That's fine. But I think for the most part, this was a pretty good cast. It was. I think the cast wasn't the issue. I think it was. This would have been a great series if this had been a possibly a multi-season thing, where it was either
Yes.
either it was a proper spy uh series where the burn, there was high moments and there's low moments, but the burn was constantly going the entire time, where we really get to see how deep the scroll invasion went. I mean, there's a million scrolls on this earth, and that you could have played out any number of
Yes.
situations. Now I understand, like, this production in of itself was $212 million. Marvel has a very limited time window for telling stories because they want all these stories to work with one another within the grander scheme of the MCU universe. So I get that. But, there's been great spy thriller series out there that have spanned multiple seasons that this could have picked up from and continue to push on. I feel like there's characters in here that got killed off, like Talos. I didn't like the fact that he got killed so early because it's like, this is a person who really, after Captain Marvel, we didn't see much of him, but this one you kind of get steam of what he's really trying to build, and like his whole philosophy of trying to get the scrolls their own homeworld, and all of a sudden he just gets killed pretty easily. I'm just like, what the hell just happened? Maria Hill, she got killed pretty much out of nowhere, and it was just kind of like,
that's the one I'm most disappointed about.
Yeah, I was hoping that she was gonna come back as a scroll. And
I was hoping too, because Martin Freeman, he's back at the end of the series.
Yeah, exactly. So this entire time, Martin Freeman has been, we don't know when he got taken, but Martin Freeman has been a scroll for how long? Throughout all of Wakanda, has he been a scroll? We don't know. So the thing is that ultimately, like, these characters that got killed off, they got killed off in such a way that it didn't bring, I feel like, a great closure to their one. It didn't bring a great closure to these characters who we've had literally for almost a decade, some of them. And then also we've had, could have been a spy series that could have transcended outside 6 episodes into a really great spy series that could have continued on with the continuing Marvel storyline. The fact that we got the whole thing of Rhodey being a scroll in 6 episodes is kind of like, damn, like, we could have played this out for a little bit longer, where we could have been seeing him in what was it, Iron Wars? War Machine.
Wait, say it again.
No, I said Iron Wars.
Iron Wars.
What's it called?
It's Armor Wars.
Armor Wars. There we go. I'm sorry. Armor Wars. Where we could have saw then the big reveal.
Thought you were trying to say
thought he got
War
him.
Machine.
No,
he thought you were trying to say War Machine.
No. I was saying it could have been cool if we saw him in the War Machine suit. You were saying something else, but Bubba was still wrong.
No, I said Iron Wars, but then when you said War Machine, I was like, yeah, War Machine. Iron Wars.
No, that's what I wanted. Was him in?
No, I was once again. What I was saying was, when you said War Machine, I said, yeah, War Machine. That's what I said.
Yeah.
And for some reason you thought,
shut up.
Yeah,
he got you in his mind.
Yeah. Anyways,
thankfully I'm not in his mind.
I'll agree with Creamcast what you said. I think, look, from the comic books, Secret Invasion's a big deal. Like, when they said 1 million scrolls, and that was a cool idea. Like, there's a scene towards the end of the series where it shows a lot of people that are swapped out, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, millions of people, I assume. I don't know, hundreds of thousands. Like, where's that going? What's that doing? So I absolutely agree with what Creamcast said. This series could have been just opening the door. It didn't need to be concluded. It just needed to open the door on the paranoia of the Marvel universe. Like, now introduce movie after movie, and you're like, oh, is that a scroll? Or is that a scroll?
Yeah.
Is it? Like, I mean, build the paranoia and then come back with Secret Invasion season 2 and just like build upon that and just like seed that through the Marvel universe in a culmination of a big event. But this was like introduced and wrapped up so quickly, and the consequences and the scale was really high. I mean, you're talking about World War III.
Yeah, the extinction of humanity through World War III.
Yeah, which was the scope is big, and it just seemed so like wrapped up so quickly in a minuscule way. And I hate when they used to do this in other MCU shows where they're like, why don't you call your superhero buddies? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they did it in this.
This is one of those moments where you need to call your superhero buddies.
Yeah.
And in other series, you know, they would have to play it off.
Like, I get it, you're prideful,
my fight,
but you might need the Hulk's help. So
I
Yeah,
mean, if there are a
yeah.
million Skrulls and one of them is this close to the president, we're about to start World War III. Where the fuck is Captain America? Like, I was expecting Falcon to swoop down at any moment
Yeah.
and save the day, and like somebody.
Yeah.
So it just there was a lot of those moments where I'm like, why are you still doing this? And why aren't we taking this as seriously as it is? I don't know. It just the series didn't. It had a lot of heavy consequences, but it didn't
deliver.
deliver, and
well,
it didn't treat
capitalize.
itself
It
in
didn't
that
capitalize it.
way. Yeah,
Like there could have
yeah.
this could have been an extension from here to. I mean, we heard the Captain America 3 movie has been announced now, where
Serpent Society.
Yeah, so now we know that Falcon, and Rhodey were close beforehand. Well, not well, they're close enough. Where they could have easily have brought in the whole scroll invasion, and still had that going on where Rhodey. Well, one, we could know that he's kind of a scroll at this point, but it kept it going instead of just killing him off, and now we got the real Rhodey back, and which is crazy in the fact that when he was probably taken, he probably doesn't even know that Cap was killed, or not Cap. Tony Stark was killed. Tony Stark was killed. Doesn't know anything that happened. So there's gonna be a lot of catching up to do. Pretty much the whole Avengers disbanded. We don't know exactly when he was still taken. I think they came out officially and said that he was taken when Rhodey went to the hospital after Civil War. So that's when he was taken. So at that point, he doesn't know that Tony is dead and so forth, which would be kind of cool if you
Is
not
that
have
official?
to do. That's what I'm asking. I know this. That's the theory.
Whoa.
If I were to guess, I would say it's not. I would say it's like you just got taken 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
Wait. I remember the scene where Stark died, and Rhodey was there.
Yeah, he's there. So
that was the real Rhodey.
Well, the implication is that's a Skrull. That's what Creamcast is saying. He's saying this after everything after Civil War, after he goes to the hospital.
No, let me.
So, but
I want to see the wheels turning.
You've blown Ed's mind right now.
Yeah,
no. But I'm just saying, even before that, before Stark died. So you're saying this whole time that was not Rhodey, him helping save the world and stuff like that.
That's exactly. And so this is where I'm seeing the wheels turning.
God,
I'm seeing the wheels turning.
The thing is, I just don't see that.
No. I see the wheels turning, and this is the funny thing about it. Ed, how would you know that in at Endgame, where Rhodey is sitting there at the funeral of Stark, that is actually Rhodey? How do you know that?
Yeah, Ed, how do you know?
Because you just said, well, Rhodey was there, therefore that's Rhodey. But if Skrulls can literally shapeshift into anybody at any point in time and literally have the exact same DNA makeup as them. Because remember, Rhodey, like the War Machine suit was supposed to be coded specifically to him. So if you're a Skrull and you can copy DNA, fingerprints, and all that stuff.
Oh my God!
What
if Rhodey was switched after Iron Man 1? That's why the actor changed. Holy shit!
And nobody.
How cool would it have been if they woke up Terrence? What's his name?
Terrence Howard.
Terrence
Howard. If they pulled the things off and it's Terrence, I was like, what happened? Where have I been? And someone would be like, shut up! Boom!
Hey man, what happened, man? You guys probably don't get that reference, but that's how Terrence Howard talked.
Yeah.
Anyways,
but I just can't see a evil Skrull
that would be
helping out save the world.
What if Terrence Howard had, if that's how they did it, and they
just
played off, they just pretend that all black people look alike. They're like, holy shit, Rhodey? Like nobody can tell the difference. He's like, yeah, man, it's me. They're like, holy shit, like, we know it was you. Like,
it would be better if everyone acted along too, because everyone else can't tell the difference either.
Yeah, like,
he's wearing the fucking wife beater and chains from Hustle and Flow.
Yeah.
hey, it's me, Rhodey, everyone.
Hey, me, it's Rhodey, man. That would have been hilarious. But
I just can't see an evil Skrull helping us save the world. It
wasn't
completely.
It wasn't
in
the
comic books.
Against...
In the comic books, the evil Skrulls in Secret Invasion have been saving the world for years.
Years,
But
yes.
It was part of their
how-
long con.
How connected is, or how different is this Secret Wars from the comic books? Greatly different.
First of
Am I
all, it's
wrong?
not Secret Wars
Or whatever,
Secret
Secret Invasion, whatever. I'm thinking something else. But it
Yeah,
is
it is.
the
It is
comic
very,
is different
very
from this.
different. There's
Yes.
yeah, it's very different.
Yeah.
However, but the still idea is the same. The idea is the exact same.
I
And
just can't
the
see.
Scrolls
Yeah, the
plan is the
Skrulls-
exact same too.
Yeah, but you got to remember this scroll was to basically take over this world and eliminate the humans.
Mm-hmm.
Why save
Yes.
them?
They were playing once again.
Why not just give
well, it's two
Thanos-
parts.
They're
why not just
trying
give
to
Thanos the glove and
position-
the stone?
they're positioning their people like it's a long con.
Yeah,
like
they're-
I don't know what their plan is, but
That's all.
And so you gotta understand, if the Scrolls came out, this is I'm trying to break this down a little bit. If they were if they took over straight as is, as Scrolls, what would happen?
What do you mean?
If they tried to take over the world as Scrolls, as straight up as green guys with pointy ears, what would happen?
There'll be humans fighting against them.
Humans, and then the Avengers will actually show up and be like this.
Yeah.
Not just the Avengers, also the Kree as well. Because remember, the Kree absolutely want to annihilate and absolutely destroy the Skrulls.
Yeah, but at any
that
time,
bullshit.
at any time, the Avengers could have showed up. Shoot, if
No.
what's his face? Hold on. This whole series, the Avengers didn't show up. They
Wait,
could have.
I feel like Ed just like realized all this. Like I don't think Ed realized
the whole
the
thing is
entire
wrong.
TV show, the whole TV show. I
Yeah,
don't
it's
think he
catching
realized.
up in real time.
Yeah,
It's
he's catching
kind
up
of
right now.
annoying.
No,
That's
I'm just saying the Avengers could have showed up at any time during this whole series.
Yes,
But for some
you're almost
dumb
there.
reason,
You're almost there, Ed.
some dumb reason, Nick Fury did not want to.
But no, that's not the point, though.
Even if he didn't
Nick
want
Fury,
to.
Nick
Hold on,
Fury,
but even
put
if he
them in
didn't
those.
want to, something on the news, or I don't know, a bird gives a message to someone else saying, "Hey, things are happening in Washington. Captain America, Falcon, can you help?" Nothing. What?
Okay, so
Wow.
I'm just saying, yeah.
Okay, so
now we got
I'm gonna make it.
the positives out of the way, I guess.
Yeah, I'll make really quick sense of this. Ed, the reason, like Nick Fury said, you don't necessarily need a hammer or a nuke for a fly. He thought he could contain it. He realized that he could handle it himself, so he didn't call the Avengers, which kind of makes sense. The thing is that Nick Fury is potentially, he is somewhat responsible for those Skrulls taking over. He put Skrulls in positions as well. Like when they assassinated somebody or they took someone out or that person was killed, a Skrull took their position to continue the chain. Nick Fury said, "Hey, I was your spy network. These people were everywhere." So Nick Fury literally elevated them and enabled them to take over key parts of world governments and so forth, so that they can always have a position. He can always know the inside of everything that's happening within the world, within different world leaders and so forth. So it doesn't make sense for the Skrulls, who are they're already displaced people, to then say, "Hey, you know what? We're just going to enact our plan and start killing everybody because, you know what? We just want to take over." When they have a superior force, which are the Kree, trying to kill them anyways. So they're not going to do that. So they can't just show themselves on Earth because the Kree will come and kill them. We've already saw that happen in Captain Marvel. 2, we will see the Avengers will show up. And if the Avengers show up, and because they're just showing off their green little bodies, I mean, at the end of the day, these are all they can do. They're strong. The Skrull are strong, but at the end of the day, what's going to be stronger? A shot from Iron Man or Thor coming to kill him? Yeah, Iron Man. I'm saying, no, this is back when. God, keep up. Jesus. Okay.
I'll just
I'm sorry.
You're climbing up a tree.
I'm sorry.
We don't have time for.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'll just say this. Like I said before, the previous episode about the first 2 episodes. This is just boring. It's finally time to see what the humans can do, because we've seen gods, we've seen monsters do whatever they can do, and it's been exciting, great story, great action, blah blah blah. Time to see what the humans can do. And it just seems like they make the humans weak in this series. They can do better. Like
humans are weak. Humans are
That's
weak
the
in
whole
this
point.
Humans
series.
are weak. I think that's the
Humans are
point.
weak in this universe.
But
Even Talos
yeah.
said they're weak,
but
but don't
look,
their tenacity, don't underestimate them. They will
But-
absolutely destroy you when they need to come together.
but here's a good example: Black Widow, the movie. I thought it was a good movie. A lot of action. All humans. Well, except
Not all
for-
humans. There are super soldiers in there.
But Black Widow is not a super soldier. She
No,
was
but the
doing,
bad guy's a super soldier, and then her
which makes it
partners
even
are super
better.
soldiers.
But hey, what makes it even better?
But those are humans
She
still
won.
fighting humans.
But they were still humans.
Humans can't fight scrolls one-on-one. You do realize
Well,
that.
I'm not even saying fight scrolls 1-on-1, but at least make this series more enjoyable. This was just boring. Like I saw
Give
this
them mech
compare-
suits.
I know what
Yeah,
Ed
give
is
him
saying.
exit,
He's
yeah.
just
or
saying
even
because the series was boring.
or like this. I saw
Give them
Mission Impossible.
Gundams.
Sure, give them Gundams. Something. I saw Mission Impossible. I thought that was more of a superb, even though it was a movie, around the same ballpark, spent my money. Superb series.
Not
Lots of
even in
action
the
going
same
on.
ballpark.
But still, lots of action going on. It kept me on the edge of my seat. Great story. This was just like you're spending a lot of money on a phenomenal cast, CG, all that stuff, and just the story was like lacking. There was nothing going on. You could have killed your villain several times, but you're just having dinner with him or whatever, and then say, "Oh, I'll see you later, Gallic," or whatever. And I just I don't know.
Gravik. But
Gravik, whatever. Gallic, Gravik, tomato, garlic Junior, whatever. Not my type of not. I'm good.
Brilliant insight.
Yes,
But-
it is.
Yeah.
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 I got 2 words for it. That's my blurry.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like, I mean, they failed to take advantage of the
The
potential.
cast.
The potential of I guess the cast, yeah, and the potential of what this could have been. I was really excited for Secret Invasion when it was announced, like 3-4 years ago, because I associated it with a big event.
Yeah.
This was not 1-to-1 with that event, obviously, and it was not even adapted 1-to-1 in like an attempt to. So, like at the end of the day, what are we left with? Nick Fury. It's like the status quo returned back to normal. Is that where we're at? Like Skrulls are.
Yeah.
So he's back.
Like, I mean, what is the fallout? What is the fallout of this movie? Like the president's a big racist dick. I guess.
Yeah. He's a huge xenophobic dick, and he hates scrolls.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, hey,
that is huge. He said, I believe.
Yeah, it's something. He says something. Instead of being grateful for the scrolls,
Let's
that
build
have
a
saved
space wall.
Space wall, like
huge.
yeah, is like the biggest space wall we have ever seen.
Yeah, wouldn't that be great when he starts coming out of his like coma? He was like,
that'd be beautiful.
Yeah, it's like
You know, it would have been awesome if there was like a Trump-like president who was a scroll. Would have made a lot of sense.
You should write more movies, man.
I should.
You're good.
I should.
Well, that's right. We should just let him sit in his own silence.
No. It's like what? Like,
What?
Like, don't treat Ed like that. You're trying to treat him like how people treat their dogs, like the dog pees, and you make the dog like it's like sit in it. You're gonna sit in it. You're gonna know, but the dog's like, what the hell's going on? I'm just a dog.
I smack it with a newspaper.
You
Get out of here.
Yeah.
You underestimate my power.
I see what Ed's saying. I'm surprised that he the revelations of the scrolldom, how far it goes, but the movie, I mean not the movie, the series, I feel like the series was it was very underwhelming. I loved the tone at first. I thought it was gonna be a great spy thriller. I was like, I don't need superheroes, I don't need gods, I just want to see Nick Fury in rare form. Let's see what he and now it's no longer Shield, is Saber. Or no, is it Saber now?
Saber.
Yeah,
well, Saber's a space one.
In the comics, it's Sword, and I
Sword,
think it might be called Saber. I don't know.
Yeah, it's Sword. Yeah, Shield. Then
Sword and Shield. Yeah, the two counterparts.
Yeah, so no, I mean, I was kind of curious to see what was going to happen. They kind of ruined the potential for Secret Invasion. At the end, I felt like Nick Fury got a coming back into form when he didn't deserve it. You had people like Maria Hill die for seemingly no reason. Talos dying for seemingly no reason.
That hurt.
Gaia now is the one Super Scroll instead of being a legion of like Super Scrolls.
Well, I mean, when we're saying they died for no reason, we're saying entertainment value wasted. I mean, in the
Entertainment value,
context
yeah.
of the story, there's a reason why they died.
No,
It
no.
makes sense in the story, but in the context of the value of the entertainment we got, it does not make sense. They were
It
way
doesn't.
better. They should have gotten way better. Also, there was a scene that I thought was funny where Nick Fury, there's a Nick Fury suit up scene in the second to
Oh,
last
God.
episode.
Yeah, and that
where he
was
puts
so.
that, and I was like, weren't you wearing that when you went in?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Except for the hat.
The
The
whole
hat.
suit up.
The purple cap looked good on him though.
Yeah, the whole suit up scene just seemed weird because it was like, you know, like we've seen like Iron Man suit up, where it's like he's putting all these things, he's falling out of buildings while getting suits put on
Yeah.
and so forth, and then Nick Fury just puts on a cardigan, a
Well,
trench
that eye
coat.
patch is like behind
Mhm.
some heavy Stark level like shielding. So I assumed I was waiting for that like eye patch to like like open up and like lasers come out.
Yeah. Well, no, well, see, the thing is
Yeah,
like
why did he have the need to compartmentalize everything? Why couldn't he just put all
Everything
the
in
items he
one-
needed in one single?
Well, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure, knowing Nick Fury, that eye patch is designer leather and it's like
Yeah.
probably high end shit.
And
And it looked
anything.
good. It looked good. I'm not gonna knock him. I
He didn't
mean,
use anything in his suit up that he used. Just a normal.
yeah, I
gun,
wanted to
yeah.
see some more like Nick Fury spy shit. I
I
didn't
was
get any
hoping
of
to see
that.
something.
Well, I wanted
was
to see
like a
something like
waste of a scene.
John Wick, where this
That
the
would have been
jacket
awesome.
the jacket is actually bulletproof, and
That
then
would have
he
been
would
awesome.
he would have had to fight 1-on-1, or 1 versus 30, a Secret Service and absolutely annihilate them.
That's what I want to see.
I felt like that whole scene, like the one thing that really got to me, this is what pissed me off more than the final battle, is that we had Nick Fury go back through the suit up scene. There's no gravity to it.
No.
He went from bum Nick Fury, like, hey, can I get some change?
Yeah.
I'll clean your windshield for you. I'll suck your dick for a little crack. Like, he went from crackhead Fury to, all right, well, I just stole someone's nice leather jacket.
Yeah, like that same crackhead robbed some
Oh,
like
yeah.
rich guy.
Crackhead Fury for eye patch.
Yeah, I'll suck your dick with this nice leather jacket. It didn't seem like it was earned. Like, I wanted to have a Nick Fury, like, okay, the gravity of the blip and everything else, Maria Hill dying, like all this weight that's being put upon him, he puts an eye patch on, like it all goes away. Like, he's like, okay, now I'm here. I'm only have one mission to kill this, that, and the other, and to do this, that, and the other. Like, I have a mission to kill. I'm
Yeah.
like,
I wish this
Something.
movie like
Yeah.
reestablished things. Like
serious.
maybe reestablish Shield. That's what I would have liked. Like, this was the moment that Shield is reestablished on Earth, and
Yeah.
like, that would have been cool. Like, Nick Fury, the end scene is him bringing back a core group of agents. Is like, this is the new Shield. This is
Yeah.
where we begin.
Yeah,
That
he
would have
could-
been cool.
He could have brought Coulson
Yeah,
back.
that would have been cool.
He could have had a Skrull Coulson, a
Scroll
Skrull
Coulson would have
Marie.
been amazing.
That would have been absolutely. I mean, they already brought him back, but
Yeah,
they could have like really did something with that. And
I haven't seen that show, so I don't know enough about that.
Correct me if
Yeah.
I'm wrong. So now I know in the cartoons that if you shapeshift into Nick Fury, the eye patch will be on a different side.
I don't know about the cartoons.
Well, okay, so there's one cartoon Nick Fury where
This seems like something like a preschool, like
it would have been
superhero
nice.
Marvel kids for preschool.
It would have been nice.
Yeah, that's like the most basic ass shit.
Would have been nice.
I think that would have. If they did that, I would have been like, "What is this? Like a Disney Plus show?"
No, the best one would be
It is Disney Plus show.
when the scroll copies Nick Fury has like a evil mustache, like in the old timey
Bad
ones.
movie,
Yeah, where the bad
Awesome.
guy has a mustache, but he
What
still
if he
can't
has
tell
a
the
scar
difference.
that's even scarier than his scar?
Yeah.
Or the
Yeah.
scars on the other side of the face.
He
Or-
just has like a fucked up mangle face.
or they have Terrence Howard come as Nick Fury.
That would be awesome.
Hey, man.
Yeah, and nobody mentions anything, and he shows up with the same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey,
Just
guys,
turns
I'm
out-
what's
here
up,
to
guys?"
kill the squirrels, man.
Have kids goes, man.
And Don Cheadle looks at him like, don't I know you?
Don Cheadle. No, Nick Fury would have been Don Cheadle. And then just had all the black people mixed up. And then have Nick Fury's
Wow.
wife be some other random black woman. You know,
Wow.
like, hey, man, you don't look like my wife, but you close enough. Like, they should have did something
Wow.
like
They
that.
should have done that.
They make
Gra-
the new what's called the new Nick Fury is going to be Cat Williams.
Wow.
Hey, man, that would have been hilarious.
I'm about to slap a bitch.
They could have did something that would have been hilarious if they would have did something like that. But of course, Disney no balls. But no, I mean, yeah, I think we're all relatively
Marveled out.
disappointed.
Disappoint is where
disappointed.
we're all at, I think, universally.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Okay.
So we'll see. All right, let's go ahead
Now,
and kick off.
hold up.
Okay.
Before we get to our blurs and everything, what do we think about the fight, Super Skrull fight?
Huh.
The end.
It would have been. It was cool in theory. It was weak.
Poor execution.
Yeah.
What were
weak
some of the
execution.
powers? I was like trying to like
Hulk,
who's the
Captain
Iceman?
Marvel.
Who's Iceman?
Iceman, they have the X-Men back.
No, they don't.
When they
No.
were
Who's
doing
the-
like the when he
names?
put it when
They
he
didn't
had
have-
the names and you saw them
Get the
scroll.
fuck out
No.
of here! It said Bobby
No.
Drake.
No,
Really?
No, it didn't say
No,
Bobby
no,
Drake,
no.
but it did list
No.
X-Men.
they didn't list
on
No,
the
it
names
didn't.
as they
No.
were.
No
They
way.
didn't
It's
list-
Didn't it?
Disney Plus.
Did
Dreamcast
not.
confirmed this.
Confirmed.
Lies. No, or
No.
he blew my
Confirmed?
mind just now.
I'm
Yeah,
opening
somebody
Disney Plus.
somebody went and did name by name, and it was no X-Men.
I mean, the name by name. I saw some of the names too, and it was just like, yeah, these people are all in the battle in Endgame.
see.
So I know
these
where
are
all these people are.
all these people are in-game battles. There was no
Yeah.
X-Men. But
So
that
who?
brings up
Okay, let me ask then.
Who's
Who
the
is
Ice guy?
Iceman? Who
yeah,
is
that's
Ice Guy?
a good
It's
point.
Iceman, isn't it? It has to be Iceman.
Iceman is not in the MCU for him to pull that
Not yet.
power.
But no, but mutants.
I mean, he will be,
no,
but
well,
he's not. He
Mutants
wouldn't
do
have
exist.
had the DNA in that harvest.
Well, mutants do. Yeah, the DNA wouldn't have been in that harvest. But that could have been.
Who had ice powers in that scene?
It's not about
There's-
ice powers. It was the children
Crystal?
of Thanos. The children of Thanos.
Oh yeah, he was using Thanos kids.
Use
powers,
ice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so all the Thanos kids were in there. So
Yeah,
the one wizard
I
guy.
know,
Ebony Maw,
I know,
he
I
used
saw
Ebony
that.
Maw's powers.
That
yeah.
one I
Yeah.
saw, yeah.
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 So that's
But
where
who was the
I-
X guy in the Children of Thanos?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out.
the
Me
what?
neither. I don't know.
The wizard guy.
He used ice?
Well, he used crystals at one point. So
Oh, okay.
remember on
That
Doctor
looked
Strange?
like ice, though. It didn't look
It did
like
look no, it did
crystals.
look ice.
He turned into a big crystal.
Oh, were they crystals? I thought they were ice. Okay.
No, that's what.
I-
No, that they at
No,
one point
the
this thing
sword
fired.
that you're talking about.
Yeah,
The
it's
ice
ice.
sword.
It was
that's
like ice sword. Yeah. So
But
that's
then
what
you
that's
also
ice.
get to see him with crystals.
crystals. So that's what people are thinking, that they were just using some liberty with the wizard.
The wizard. I know the wizard has more powers than what we saw.
Yeah,
so
we saw.
Didn't they have also what's it called?
it's just
Storm.
is odd.
Not a Storm X-Men now. What's his name? The Fantastic Four, the guy that turns into fire.
Human
Didn't
Torch.
she
Torch?
also
Yeah.
Human Torch.
yeah
Torch?
display some of those powers?
Yeah, they did.
No,
I thought it was a fire.
No, that was
Captain
Captain
Marvel.
Marvel powers.
Those
Okay.
Captain Marvel?
That
Oh,
effect
okay.
around her was Captain Marvel.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah, but I mean, there are mutants now. Mutants have officially been introduced into the MCU now, thanks to Miss.
Well, I know what
Miss
Darkseid's
Marvel.
saying is like, where did they get the DNA from?
Yeah,
If it's meant to be from the heroes we've watched battle.
yeah. So
I think it's just I'm sure it comes from something and someone will figure it out. But I was like,
well, somebody
couldn't name it.
somebody went screen by screen.
Yeah, I know.
Frame by
somebody probably
frame
did.
on the Harvest screen. When they had it
Yeah.
on the computer, somebody went name by name, and yes, all the people who were at the in-game battle. So whoever it is what it is. Like I said, mutants are now officially in the MCU thanks to Miss Marvel. It should not have been introduced into this, but I mean, mutants do exist now. So we'll see how that turns out. We already know that Marvel is working on X-Men reboot, so we'll see how that goes. I'm not gonna lie, Marvel is not doing well.
All right, next up, we got Miss Marvel, the Marvels,
Yeah,
and the trailer just dropped for Loki season 2. I think some of us saw it.
I haven't seen it yet, but I will see it after this
I
episode.
haven't watched it yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Seeing
So
it.
that's what's next for old Marvel here. I will say that the Disney Plus universe is really not. It's kind of not doing it for me anymore. They need to. It was fun in the beginning, but it was new. So hopefully Loki season 2 adds a new life to it. But
And
even
Loki
looking
we
at-
trust.
even that did not look that exciting to me. Like
I'm excited
I
because of
want,
first
you know
season.
what I want? I want Moon Knight season 2. That's what, like, that set a bar for me that
Yeah,
I'm
that
like,
kind
give
of
me more of
setting.
that
You're right.
shit.
Yeah, give me
So now it's like feels like we're stepping back and it's not as good.
yeah. And what scares me the most is that we
I'm excited
have
for
Dreamcast?
season two.
we have
Dreamcast, we
A-list.
can't hear you again.
You can hear me.
Oh no.
Oh no, you
Oh,
guys
there we
hear
go.
me?
Oh, there we
Yeah.
go. There we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah,
There
we
we
can
go.
hear you now.
Oscar Isaac, like
Mhm.
when in the past so far we've seen when Marvel has had big A-list actors,
Mhm.
usually it came with some type of um, production value, good story, and so forth. May not have been the best, but it was good. What scares me is that as Samuel L. Jackson, he's literally been with Marvel since the beginning
Yes.
of this,
Holy
and
moly.
this is his first debut of his first Nick Fury led series, and it turned out to be this much of a failure. And I think it's pretty unanimous across the board. Most people are saying, I think our scores are going to reflect what a lot of people think about this series. This makes me kind of nervous because now it's like Marvel seems like it's kind of losing its touch. It's going to a point where the argument people make about movie movie heroes are we're pretty much coming to a point where the people are just getting tired of it. I'm kind of getting to that point where if we're gonna get mediocre stuff like this, especially for a debut characters, we're not even debut characters, a character's debut series where they are now frontlining the series, and this is what we get. I'm kind of worried, and it kind of like have we left the golden age of superhero movies, especially with the MCU?
Maybe
We're
for
talking about that
Marvel.
bubble bursting
Marvel.
for 10 years, and I think
Yeah.
that bubble did burst.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
we're just in denial.
yeah, we got.
Yep.
I mean, you got
I'm not.
Eternals. We got Eternals 2 coming. It's supposed to be coming out.
No, it's not.
What?
Eternals 2 is not coming out.
Dear God, I hope not.
That's
there's
planned?
It's not
That's
planned
not on
yet.
their-
No,
that's
it's
not
not.
on
No,
their
no, no,
slate.
not on their slate. But there's been talks that they do want to do an Eternals 2.
I don't think so.
Blade has been reshot, or not reshot. It's been can't find a director for it. They found a director who came up with the storyline, and then that director left for whatever reason, and now we can't get another director.
So Blade is pushed, and there's all the movies were
Indefinitely.
pushed back this year and next year. So
Next
it's like
year, yep.
Blade got pushed back.
Fantastic
What was the
Four.
name? Fantastic Four, Thunderbolts. No, I'm
Thunderbolt.
talking about the more recent ones. Thunderbolts is pushed back.
Thunderbolts has been pushed back.
It was supposed to be
this
summer, next summer.
I thought it was this fall.
No, it's Miss Marvel this. Oh, I think you're right.
Yeah, Miss Marvel was supposed to be like
back.
August.
Thunderbolts was supposed to be fall.
Yep.
Or winter. So Thunderbolts is going to be starting next year.
Yeah, everything's getting pushed back. So I don't know, Marvel.
They're retooling.
Oh, but a cool thing that is in the works that this is not Marvel anymore. Well, this is Marvel, but it is not within Disney. Andrew Garfield has pretty much confirmed in his own mind that there are in fact
in his own mind.
Well, no, nobody's come out yet, but he said that,
Okay.
Breaking news.
But he did say that Andrew Garfield did say that they are in fact working on a Amazing Spider-Man 3.
I would see that.
Yeah,
I would see that.
I would watch it too. Yeah,
I think a lot of people,
I would see that over a new Toby one. I don't.
That's the thing is there has been talks of Sam Raimi and Tobey Maguire getting together after the success of No Way Home. We'll see what happens. Not sure.
I think the money's right.
I think the Toby one is wrapped up nicely.
Right.
Like his Creamcast or Green Tuner's right. If the money's right, anything happens. But
anything happens.
Hopefully,
what else is Tobey Maguire doing now?
Nothing.
He's retired. I believe he's
sitting
retired.
in his pile of money.
He's pretty much retired.
He doesn't need it.
Yeah, but
okay.
But I'm not gonna lie, Andrew Garfield is
no. Tobey Maguire was in Babylon recently. That Margot Robbie Brad Pitt movie that just came out or just previously. But he's at a point where he selects whatever he wants to do and does it.
Which makes sense.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna lie, Andrew Garfield, Amazing Spider-Man. I think Andrew Garfield, rough take.
I think
he's probably
he
one of the
another
best.
Shot.
He needs another shot. I think he was probably one of the best Peter Parker's out there. As far as Spider-Man wittiness and so forth, I know people disagree with that.
I definitely disagree. I thought he was too cool for school, but
Yes,
I
agreed.
but he had the arm. He's the
have
best Spider-Man. He was the best Spider-Man as far as wittiness.
No.
I don't know about that, but I will
No.
say that I have a sympathy for him, that I
I
would want to
do.
see him get a redemption arc.
Yes.
Because I think he was way better. I thought he's him cast in that role. I was all happy about him as Spider-Man when he was. I think what you're talking about, him witty as Spider-Man.
Mannerisms, yeah.
Yes, I agree. I think he was good. I think Tom
made him too
Holland
cool.
does everything better, but I think that Andrew Garfield deserves a second chance, and I hope just give me Tom Hardy, Venom in it. If you're gonna do it, just do it with them
All the
'cause
way,
It
yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They make sense together.
They do make a lot of sense together.
Okay, so
Yeah.
just give us that. That would be good.
So that's the redemption Marvel has. Is not Disney, but it's the redemption that I think we deserve at this point. If we have to continue to digest all this Marvel shit, I feel like give the fans what they want. And I think most people would be fine with a Amazing Spider-Man 3 Venom crossover. Fuck it. Bring Morbius in. Like just do it. Just do it at this point.
Podcast is going to become like all the YouTube channels. They're just hate machines for the content they love. Like if you go watch like most of the YouTube channels out there that report on Star Wars, like the fan channels are just like, I hate Kathleen Kennedy machines.
Yes.
And I get it. I guess they're bread and butter. But they if Kathleen Kennedy takes a wet fart somewhere, it's on, like, they put out a
It's
video
on every
right away.
podcast.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And I feel bad for that woman. But I think we are going to become that podcast because there's not a lot of, like, it's the hope window. Am I the only one feeling the thing that I look forward to is like closing? I'm like, oh, you know what I mean?
Their opportunity. Their opportunity is closing to
and
capitalize.
I don't know if, in real talk, I don't know if we are getting too old for this shit, and it's not for us anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's a probable reality, that this shit is not for us anymore. We're being aged out. And we are like, yeah, definitely.
Well, we said that about Ms. Marvel. Ms. Marvel was not meant for us.
Yes, it's not for us. And I think they're going to get a lot of movies and shows are going to come out where we're going to say that a lot. Oh, it's not meant for us. It's not meant, because Gen Z thinks totally differently about everything they do. And for me, it's lame, but these are the people. Like,
no, they do, but there's the majority of Marvel movies.
What do you know?
Shut up.
More to you guys. The majority of Marvel
movies. Gen Z?
Why? Because you hang out with Gen Z a lot, you creepy weirdo.
I do not. What I was saying is that the majority of Marvel movies and series that have come out have been, I would say, geared towards us. Yes,
they were geared towards us because of the nostalgia. Now, hold on. This is the theory. How long has the MCU been around for? 25 years, right? Is that the thing? They just celebrated
25 years?
No.
It's been a
while. 25
since
anniversary,
25-year
anniversary?
It's been a long time.
Or 20-year anniversary?
It's probably closer to like
20. They celebrate. They had a milestone anniversary, and I think it was 25.
If they're counting Blade, then yes.
No, not Blade. Iron Man from Iron Man 1.
Iron Man 1. It's not been 20 years. It's been like 14.
Still, it's a
14.
long time.
Iron Man when it first came out was like 2008. Yeah, 2008. Yeah.
Even if they
count Blade.
Okay, they might be counting Blade. Hold on, Ed. So nostalgia, the nostalgia.
I get that.
We are 30 somethings.
Yes.
You know, and our nostalgia point in the MCU was Avengers 1. That was our nostalgia point. They were capturing. We were the demographic they were targeting, so they were going after our age group.
Okay.
The age group they're going to go after next is after us. Like, you talk about like Static Shock and all this stuff.
That's still us.
Blue Beetle, the new Blue Beetle.
That's still us.
No, Blue Beetle's not my generation. I'm just telling you. It
grew up in our generation.
The new Blue Beetle is not aimed at my generation. It was aimed at the next generation.
But here's the thing.
Robbie Reyes was not part of.
So the thing that
Jamie, whatever.
The thing that Gunn has right now is he rebooted. He's rebooting everything. In order for Marvel to appeal to the Gen Zs that you're talking about or whatever, they would have to reboot everything. They have to start completely fresh, which they can do.
No, they won't. They're doing right now. They're doing what they're doing right now. They're not rebooting. They are literally
rebooting.
they're literally retiring their heroes and replacing them.
Yes.
So
Yes,
that
but
is the reboot. You're
but
seeing the
it,
reboot happen in real time. It's like a Skrull invasion. It's happening in front of your
but
face.
it's still
Yeah.
in the same universe though. So it would
Yeah.
have to connect to everything that we have watched ever since.
Right. They
first
don't
Iron
want to
Man.
throw away that nostalgia factor for us. They want to drag in the old heads, but the old heads will come in there and they'll gripe, but they're aiming for the new heads because
Yes.
they
They're
want
not
to
doing
create the nostalgia.
I would
This
say
just
right now they're not.
this is just like the Star Wars right now.
Yeah,
When
which failed.
when we were young, everyone hated the prequel saga. Now the prequel saga is
I
on
didn't.
peak. The prequel saga is on peak nostalgia point.
Yes.
So you'll see a lot of
Wait,
prequel
good
related stuff
example.
because a lot of
Hold on.
generation will buy into it.
Hold on.
Same
But you,
thing's happening
you,
with
you
Marvel.
brought up something really good about Star Wars. So a lot of people who were older.
You better
back
have a good point.
Oh, that's a good point. It's a really good point.
Okay. All right,
A
go
lot
ahead.
of people who were older when the episode 1, 2, and 3 came out, they didn't like it. But the young kids that saw episode 1, 2, and 3 when they were young back then,
Oh my
they
god.
hold on, no, they loved it.
You're kind of
But-
proving Dark Side's
You're
point.
literally saying
no,
the same thing I just said.
Listen what I'm saying.
Okay.
Listen what I'm saying.
All
No,
right,
hold on. So people back then, the older people back then, they would badmouth about it that Hayden Christensen sucks as Anakin, Vader, all
He
that
sucks
stuff.
ass.
Right.
I didn't say that. But now he is praised and adored, even though he hasn't done a new movie.
He's praised because of what I just described. The nostalgia for the prequels is hitting now. So
Yeah.
But back then it was towards.
But
yeah,
back
back then there was no the nostalgia that
There was
brought
no
in the old
because it was
heads.
new.
No, yeah, the old
Yes.
heads came in because it was Star Wars,
Yes,
right? And they
I
didn't
get
like
that.
it.
I get
Now
that.
Okay,
the nostalgia is hitting for that now. So that's
Okay,
why
so
Hayden
so okay,
Christensen-
so this is
Hold on, but
you guys
but,
are
but
on
now
two.
the older hold up, but now the people who are old back then are
Mhm.
appreciating Hayden Christensen now because the new stuff that's coming out sucks to the new crowd and the old heads. All around, if you want, talk to people who are.
Dreamcast makes sense of this because I don't know what he's talking about. Like where he's
So
going.
I know
Okay.
people who are in their
I know what you
20s.
just said.
Hold
I'm
on,
just
hold
trying
on.
to adapt
But
it to the argument.
I know people who are in their younger 20s
Mhm,
and people who are in their older 40s, even close to 50s,
mhm.
who say they absolutely despise the new Star Wars movies that came out, the last 3 that just came out.
Okay.
Young generation and new generation hate it.
A lot of the new generation like it.
Late. Yeah, I think you're.
Yeah,
I think
the-
you're.
the
Probably,
totally,
yeah, 5
there-
people. Okay, 5
there-
people.
no,
5 people on
no,
Twitter.
no, because
See,
we've already no.
There's
Okay,
a
so
lot of kids who are tied into the resistance.
Can I talk-
BBA
can I
and
talk
all
about
this
it?
Stuff.
can I talk about
Yeah,
it?
go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, all right. Ed, from what you're saying is I think you're totally missing the point. Is that the old stuff that we used to hate on back? Okay, so
I didn't hate on it,
let's,
go on.
let's talk about episode 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
Episode 1, 2, and 3 appealed to our generation because we were the young people back then. So for us, it seemed cool and we liked that stuff at that point in time. Now, the old heads who watched the original Star Wars, the original trilogy, they hated the new stuff because they're like, hey, this is not my Star Wars, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. Now, as time has gone past, we look back and say, hey, well, compared to the new stuff, we don't like this new stuff. We're the old heads now. So now the new stuff that comes out, we're like, we really don't like it. The stuff that we used to, like, that's nostalgia. Nostalgia is hitting us now because we're like, man, back in the day, that was really cool. When Darth Maul was like zoom, 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 and Qui-Gon or whatever was like zoom, 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 and so forth.
Mhm.
This new generation now likes the new Star Wars, and then the reason why they like the Star Wars because money talks. At the end of the day, the old heads watched it and the new heads watched it. That's
I
why
know someone. specifically. I won't say his name. That
it doesn't matter
he
what
was.
someone-
And it doesn't matter
You
if the
keep-
4 people
no,
man.
we're talking
I'm
about
just telling
this
you.
is the movies we've already looked it up. I think we looked it up last week or last week's podcast or the week before. We looked at the top 10 movies as per box office, and the new movies were still in the top 10. I think all 3 of the new movies.
That's going to happen because it's Star Wars. Doesn't mean it's a good movie.
Ed, but that's the point.
No, but here's the thing, Ed. When you were a kid,
Okay.
when you watched Star Wars Episode 1,
Yes.
okay, you liked it, right?
Not
No.
all. Of
Oh
them.
my God!
No, hold on.
Jesus
Ed,
Christ! It's a
No, no.
simple question.
No, my
Okay.
favorite out of the 3 is Episode 3. The the first
Ed,
episode, there's
Ed,
parts I
just
didn't
I'm
like.
not asking for all this. I just asked one fucking question here.
What?
When you watched Star Wars Episode 1 as a child, you liked it, right?
It's all right, yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. So there's some kids and some older guy right next to you would have said, it sucks. Star Wars Force Awakens, some kid would have been like, oh, this is the most amazing shit I've ever seen, and this is their Star Wars. That's their
Maybe a
moment.
5-year-old, yeah, but like
Well, you're creating nostalgia for that kid.
Yeah,
You
it doesn't
understand?
matter. It doesn't matter
yeah,
how old
but
the kid is.
some of those kids, like me myself, when I saw episode 1, 2, and 3, saw the original Star Wars,
So
and I liked
So
it.
one.
it doesn't mean anything. You're still creating nostalgia for what you like.
Yeah, but some of these kids now would it
But
be?
that's not the original Star Wars.
teenagers
I
or
watched
their
and I liked
20s?
too. But when I was a kid, Star Wars Episode 1 was coming out. It was new. There was
Yes,
toys. There was
yes.
the Pepsi thing.
Yes.
There was. I
Yeah.
remember it was important to
Yes.
me. So that became
Yeah.
my generation's thing.
Yeah. So
Even though
again,
the other movies existed. So for
Yes.
some kid, Star Wars: The Last Jedi is the thing for him, and that will be or her, and that'll be their thing in 20 years when they bring Rey Skywalker movie back, and you'll be like, why are
didn't
they
the
bringing this
toys
stupid
didn't
movie back?
hold on? Didn't the new
Yeah.
movie toys not do so well?
Kids bought them. All right, lots of kids bought
Not as
them.
much. Not as
Again,
much.
irrelevant
Not as much.
what you're talking
Not
about.
as much as to what?
Jesus Christ.
To what Star Wars normally would do. All I'm saying is,
What do they normally would do?
But
Not
with
for us.
time, I'm sure the sales have increased.
But Ed,
or
the
want.
thing is, you say things like this. So you say these abstract things where you say, "Oh, they didn't do as well as they should have done," or this, that, and the other. But once again, the 3 Star Wars that came out are still in the top 10 movies of all
of
time.
course, it's going to be in the top.
It doesn't
10
matter. No, it's
money-wise.
not. It's not. Of course, it's they
It's
did
Star
that.
Wars.
How
Star
many
Wars
movies-
is always going to make money.
Okay, what as Marvel shows, they of course they're gonna be the top, make the most money because as Marvel movies. That
Yeah,
doesn't mean anything.
Secret Invasion, I'm sure made a lot of money for Disney Plus. But if you go on Twitter or YouTube or whatever else, you'll see across the board that people saying it sucks. This is wrong. What's going
But we
on?
watched it, right?
still watched it.
Of course
it.
we watched
paid
it. Yeah.
for
And
the
it.
thing
We
is-
watched
yeah.
it. So
And the
that's
thing is-
done.
Yeah, it
And the-
doesn't mean it's good.
And the bias that you're going to see
Doesn't
most
mean
of the
anything.
times,
That's not what we're
yeah, the bias that you're going to see, you're of course going to be attracted to the opinions that more align to yours. So, like looking outside of publications, most people,
I don't care
you
about
really,
anyone's opinion.
you do really, well, you do realize that most
Yeah, you
publications,
do.
you do,
No,
yes.
if this,
I mean, you're
was
the one throwing
successful-
Instagram.
No. You
Stuff
two,
at us,
hold
so
on.
bad.
You two liked it in the beginning.
Yes,
Yeah, I thought it was good in the
And I
beginning.
stood by my word, and I thought it was bad. Still is bad. If it was great towards the end, if I didn't like it,
Things
my opinion.
things can start good and get bad. That happens in the
yeah,
world.
Yeah.
I'm sure. But what I'm saying
Okay,
is,
so that happened literally
but
here.
if the grand popular opinion is, well, oh, this is great. If I don't like it, I'm going to say I don't like it. I don't care about someone's opinion.
So
compares
who's
these things.
even talking about that? Who's even talking about that? Once again,
You
we're
are.
completely off the rails because we started talking about one thing and you went completely into another
stayed on the
nutso
rails.
direction.
Oh my
Let's
god!
get to our
So-
blurries.
all right,
Let's get
okay,
to our
wait, wait, wait,
blurries.
Let me say this point real quick.
Oh.
Let me get to
come
this point.
on, man.
Let me get to this point. The point is that at the end of the day,
So
just to go what Dark Side was saying earlier, we are possibly turning to we grew up with Marvel, the original Marvel movies, Avengers and so forth. That was new to us. We were the audience that they were going for. Now we are the old people who might say, dang, this is what I think we already said. This is 14 years later, 15 years later. After watching that, we're like, hey, we possibly have outgrown this. But now there are kids who have literally been born when Marvel first came out, first Iron Man came out. Now they're 14, 13, whatever, watching this and saying, this is my Iron Man. This is new comics for me. This is new stuff for me. This is new to me. They like it. Even though we have been aged out. So we're looking back at the old stuff saying, hey, that's nostalgic. We love that. Old Iron Man 1, 2, and 3. We love that. Even
it's
though
such a simple concept.
So-
I don't know. I
but
don't
no,
know
so
how
I'm not
understanding.
I'm not done. I'm not done. So at the end of the day, we are possibly getting phased out of all these comic book movies.
we will be
So
phased out.
We will be
We
phased
will
out
be.
eventually.
That's just the way it is.
Eventually,
But
yeah,
absolutely.
not now.
Eventually, yeah,
It won't be
eventually-
for a long time, I'm sure.
No, this is
No,
kind of happening
it'll happen
right now.
If you
Yeah,
if you
yes.
feel there's stuff happening right now that you don't relate to, it started
It's
already.
happening.
No,
Yes,
but this
okay.
is this.
But
this
what I'm
is-
saying, so I'm not. Let me finish. So at the end of the day,
I used to be with it,
yeah. So we
and
used to
now
be.
it scares me.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah. So like, get off my lawn, Marvel.
Grandpa
So
Simpson.
so at this point, we're the ones that have possibly have aged out. Marvel no longer appeals to us, and you can tell by certain things of how Marvel has evolved over time, where they might appeal to a younger crowd. Because look at one thing: first people, the superhero, the main trinity that we got were white guy, white guy, white guy. Right now we have for the new Avengers that is pretty much being teased. We have an Asian guy, a black woman, and then who? Another woman, as in
A
Hawkeye.
black guy, Captain America's black guy now.
Yeah, black guy, Captain America. So
Just
now we
all
have,
Mm.
all stories from the 70s, 80s. But go on.
but
No, they're not stories from the 70s, 80s. Captain America, he didn't become Captain America until recently.
But the thing is that ultimately at the end of
Comic
the
book
day,
wise.
Yes,
that's
comic
what
book
literally
wise.
what
He
he's
didn't
saying.
never did
Mm.
that. That was a recent thing.
Yeah, Captain America has always been white. For
Captain America's always been Steve
We're
talking
Rogers.
about, like,
Bucky
later.
Barnes was
Bucky
Wasn't it
Barnes,
like
yes.
90s?
Ed,
I
you don't know
forgot.
what you're talking about, but
Okay,
Go
so
on.
anyway, so in either case, you can see that the transition is happening now with TV shows like Miss Marvel. If Miss Marvel would have came out during 2008, we probably would have loved it, maybe. But at the end of the day, would it have been successful as it probably is now with a certain demographic? No. So Miss Marvel has been really good with the younger generation. Younger kids love it. They think it's a great show. Some kids, and now you're gonna say stuff like, "Well, the three people that I talked to, they hate it." They're not talking about that. You're not the
No, the
demographic.
3 people I talked to, they liked
So
it. Everyone
so
else hated it.
so at the end of the day, people are this generation that's watching this Marvel stuff now. They're going to be more in tune to that than how we are going to be in tune to it. So it's the same thing as going back to the Star Wars reference. We like the older stuff because that's where that was the nostalgia for us. That's why the newer stuff we might not like as much because we say that's not our Star Wars. But for the younger crowd who literally was born in between Phantom Menace and Force Awakens, they're like
Don't like the new one.
they're like, hey, this is my Star Wars. That old Star Wars, that's the old people stuff. This Star Wars is my Star Wars now because it has the updated graphics, it has updated fight scene, they have actors that I actually know who the hell they are.
yeah,
Like,
And terrible story.
characters are in Fortnite. Like
Yeah, Fortnite,
they
exactly.
are. This is what they're Lego
Yeah, there's
characters.
characters for us who are in Fortnite too. But
Yeah, again, Ed, I'm shocked that you don't understand this by now. But
I know I
I'm just
understand
gonna,
what you're saying, but
yeah,
here's what I'm saying too. Star Wars started in the 70s. Marvel
Yeah.
comics, all those characters started 70s too.
hmm
Everything is always pretty much for us. Like I will use this as an example. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That came out for us back in the day. Now it's rebooted the 10th time, still the same
Mhm.
turtles, different color
Mhm.
scheme, whatever.
hmm
We're going to see it,
hmm
I'm sure. And
Mhm.
the kids that see it, yeah, it's going to be for them. But
Mhm.
then they're going to want to see, oh, there were turtles back 20 years ago too. Let me check this out. Oh, this was actually better back then than it is now. That's what.
No, that's not necessarily the case.
but
But that's what a lot of people are
do you
doing.
realize that Ninja Turtles, the original Ninja Turtles, wasn't for us. The original Ninja Turtles
Was
was
black and white.
black
It
and
was
white,
very
graphic.
well, yeah, very graphic.
The turtles were killing people and shit.
Yes.
Turtles had weapons that were actually like slicing.
Yes, I know
so,
because I've
so
read
that
some of the
turtle, so that turtle wasn't for us. So that
I have
even
never-
even that example right there shows you that there is stuff that's for us. So a person who
you know what I'm talking about.
no
I don't think you know what you're talking about because like I know kids today play Ninja Turtles, right?
Yes.
I know they do. I have a friend who has kids. They play with Ninja Turtles.
Yes.
I know there's kids that know who the Ninja Turtles are. I
Yes.
literally had a conversation with my friend who's younger than me. So even
Mhm.
the original Ninja Turtles movie does not have. He thought it was lame. He's an adult, but he's of a generation that thought the original Ninja Turtles movie, which I adore, is cheesy and corny and lame. You think his kids are going to have some kind of like cinematic nostalgia for something that they don't even relate to? Why would they?
I get that.
This
And
new Ninja Turtles movie is higher rated on the Rotten Tomatoes scale than all the other Ninja Turtle movies that have ever come out.
that's
So
good because
they
it looks
can-
good right now.
Sure, but they can always say that this is the best one, and they're going to have nostalgia for this.
It might be the best
I will
one.
go see this, and I might like it, but I'll still have nostalgia for the original one that I saw.
agree with that
I don't
point.
expect a generation of kids to have nostalgia for that old movie.
I agree halfway
'Cause-
with that second point. Well, then not the nostalgia part. I'm saying that. So there's a couple I know, and
Again, you go back to the same four friggin' people that you
I'm
know.
not
and
saying
that's
the four.
you're
the
like
four
a
people,
bottle,
say
man.
balance of probabilities.
There's a
Well,
couple
most
that I
people-
know who
well,
has
most people-
kids, and they like the of episode 1, 2, and 3, and the original Star Wars, and hate the new Star Wars. That's what
Okay,
I'm saying
okay.
because they're
And-
younger.
All right, let's get to
All right,
the
let's
blurs.
wrap
I
it
think
up, yes.
Ed exists in an
We've been
echo
going in
chamber, and
circles.
it's based around the
Ed,
10
I
people
do
around him.
not.
Look,
That's
Ed
it.
is good at roping people. I don't know why you guys keep on doing this. Ed is good
Because
at
we
roping
have a
people
because
into
we have a
the
podcast, so I mean
That's
it makes
true.
for good content.
True.
Okay.
All right, go for it. Let's get to blurries here. Oh, what were we talking about? Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion.
I'll give this. I'll give it a 7. No, I'll give it a 6. I'll give it a 6. It was
I'll give
good.
it a 6 as well.
Yeah, it was
I
a little bit
I
above
was
good.
I was at 6.5.
Mm.
5.
Okay, so
Okay,
we're about
cool.
the
How
same
about
place.
same?
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, good. Wow,
Okay.
good thing we got through that. All right, I think that pretty much wraps up
But
this
no, I'm
episode.
kidding.
Oh, I'm gonna kick your ass.
Yeah, I think we pretty much wrapped up this episode. We went through Oppenheimer and then talking about Secret Invasion. One did well, one didn't do well. Yeah, just to tell the times. Regular movies are back in, baby, and Marvel gotta step it up because Marvel's becoming the new DC.
This is the time for DC to strike.
Strike,
It
literally.
has never been better to strike
You
than
can
right now for
you
DC.
cannot there's
Yeah.
literally not just a chink in the armor. They have no armor at this point. There's
Yeah.
nothing in the MCU lineup that other than Loki, Moon Knight,
Mm.
and maybe one-offs like Werewolf by Night and stuff like that. Possibly Deadpool 3, possibly the announcement of X-Men, but that's still years out. There's no better time for DC to come back swinging. So
Yes.
we'll see. We'll see. James Gunn, if you're listening to the Blur podcast, which I think you are, hire us. We'll get you on the right track. Don't hire Ed though, because Ed will,
Hire me. I'll give you the
No,
90s
not
X-Men. I'll just say, hey, do 90s X-Men. Give me Patrick Stewart. Do it. Boom. Money.
Yeah. Just proved it. Just
That
don't
would
hire-
work.
Don't hire him.
That would work.
Anyways, yeah, I think we wrapped this up. Good conversation. Good episode. Ed, if you're ready, go ahead and take us out, man. Before we
always
do,
ready.
any last words from anybody? Green Tuna, I know you're tapped out. Dark Side.
Just let it end, please, God. Let it end.
Oh, okay. I ain't got nothing else to say. All right, yeah, Ed Underground, take us out.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been episode 93 of the Blurred Podcast. As always, you can find us on all major platforms, and you can also listen and look and chat with us live on twitch.tv/the Blurred Podcast. Blur you later, and the new Star Wars sucks.
Blurry later.
Blur you later. Dark Side, you wanna?
Come on, bitch.
Oh, God.
Say it. Damn asshole.